middle schooler in Mauriceville, I would always walk the railroad tracks, and there was this big abandoned house, and this lady comes walking out of it. I was like, oh, somebody must have moved in there. No, it was a batshit crazy homeless lady that could control the weather with her mind and thought the cops were beating her while she was sleeping.
Oh.
And she was telling me this, and I'm sitting here like terrified, and she grabs my hand and puts it on her head. She's like, you feel the bruises from the cops beating me? And I was like, I'm gonna die here. She's like, I could control the weather. If they'd stop beating me in my sleep, I'd show you. And I was like, oh, all right.
Do you want
I will no longer be
my
walking
new
this
son?
direction. I was like, I will no longer be walking this direction.
Hey there, travelers. You look beat. Come in, take a seat while I tell you about a creepy, chocolatey treat that's guaranteed to drive the ghouls crazy. With its spine-chilling filling, the all-new United States of Paranormal.
Hey, all you hitchers and drifters. Welcome back to the United States of Paranormal, your weekly fucking words, script, lines.
Yeah, why didn't you write this down?
Because it's kind of written down there. Weekly road trip through all things cryptid, creepy, and paranormal. All right, here we go. Hey, all you hitchers and drifters. Welcome back to the United States of Paranormal, your weekly road trip through all things cryptid, creepy, and paranormal. I am Logan. To the metaphorical right of me. You fucked it up. To the metaphorical right of me. The 6 to my 9, Matt Frisby. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, what up? I'm doing good. I'm having a good time.
I did all that hard work to get through it, and you fucking boned me by trying to early introduce yourself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then somebody else is doing it too. Okay, so we're set up here. This is not a visual podcast, but we're set up Brady Bunch style in Discord. So to Matt's, that would be Matt's right?
It is going to look different for each person.
Well,
Exactly.
to mine,
Every
to Matt's
time.
metaphorical right, we've got 3-time podcast host, co-star
Tom
of How to Survive Slenderman. What's some other things Chico's done? What was your
Shriek
slasher
series.
flicks?
The Shriek series, yes.
Director, writer, and star of the Shriek series. He was once in a band called
Weeks later.
You just told me. What else do we got? Colton, you know him. What else do we
That's
got?
about. I mean, those
going for
YouTube,
deep
the
cuts.
Shriek series, the Shriek series. Check them out on YouTube.
Once got plugged by a 9-iron by his own son, or it's not son, brother.
Got a scar to prove it. He knows all about it.
And how many times do you think you've seen Shrek in your life because of your sister?
Oh God, I couldn't even count. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah, no.
Last time she watched it. So.
When I left Indiana to move to Germany, I was so sad I was gonna miss all of them, but I was happy knowing that I'd never have to watch fucking Shrek ever again, because that's all Mojo ever did. She's like, it's done. Rewind, starts over again. That, and she had a monkey that she got at it was some discount store that sung by the Temptations, the I've Got Sunshine on loop, and she would play that fucker all the time too.
Memories I don't ever want to remember, and you brought it back.
Oh, they're locked up there forever.
Yeah,
but we got Chico Noise, the gunner.
Oh,
He is. We finally got the call guys in here, and we'll get around to introducing the other call guy when we go to Gunner's metaphorical below. He's down below him. But welcome, Chico, to Tusop, the Tejas side.
About damn time.
I know. Scheduling, man, it fucking sucks. Adulting, people got kids, stuff to do, jobs, whatever you do on your spare time.
Well, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah,
That's fair.
Well, that sounds shady.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to be here. Glad to be here.
So the metaphorical below of Chico, we have got the menace that likes to drink Guinness. We've got Juan Kill for 3.
Oh,
What
man.
is up, sir?
That is a great intro. I love that. I love
I
Guinness,
knew you'd
so
like that one.
I'm all for it. I'm good, man. I'm good. I actually just came back from a St. Patrick's Day party, so
You left it early, man. I
I
thought we were
know,
going to
we
start
ran it-
recording at 10 or something, and you popped in at right at 9. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not ready.
no,
Yeah,
we ran out of Guinness. So
That's fair. I've still got Guinness in the fridge, but I drank enough Guinness yesterday that I'm moving on to something a little lighter today. And I had a thing of Shanky's Irish whiskey in there. I didn't even crack last night because we ended up just talking, and then I forgot to drink. So
Oh man,
Happens.
that's a shame.
shamed my ancestors last night. But it's good to have you on here, man. Long time coming.
Man, glad to be on here. I listen to you guys every week or every other week, I should say, since you guys can't muster up a weekly podcast. So,
Oh, I don't know how
Um,
y'all do that shit. Hard pass on weekly.
Easy
man,
work.
That's easy.
See, I have
Easy
a hard,
work.
I always had a hard time getting people to like. There was never all right, we're gonna do all this. We're gonna schedule out in advance. It was always, hey, we're running out of time. We need to record.
Yeah, we like to fly by the
Oh.
seat of our pants, man.
We've
That's
done
it.
that a couple times.
Yeah, our secret is that we start the week with a pre-production meeting, and eventually by the time we get to recording, we have at least hopefully have gotten down to just a pre-production meeting.
Fucking pre-production. That's fancy as shit.
Yeah, I think the core takeaway here is production meetings, Logan.
Yeah, noted. Next time around, we'll figure that out. I was like, we do research and stuff on our end. And I was like, the call guys just have to pick their stuff and that's fine. And then one day I was like, if I ever am on call guys, I want to do my favorite horror movies. And I sat down and I tried to do that. I put more work into that than I've ever put into a single episode of Tusop, and I'm still not happy with the list. I'm like, there's not enough room in top 3. It was fucking horrible. I don't know how you guys do it. And then you have to listen to people like me give you shit for it too on top of it. So
I love it. I love the feedback. I love it.
there's nothing like making a list too, and then hearing somebody else talk about their list, and you're like, fuck, I forgot that.
Every
Because
time.
listening to Skylar's 90s episode, I was like, I know my 90s movie, and then Skylar was like, The Mummy. And I was like, how the fuck did I forget The Mummy? I watched that like 80 times when it came out, and I forgot The Mummy. And I felt bad about myself for the rest of the day. So
That's what we do at the Call Guys podcast is make
Yeah.
you feel bad about yourself.
yeah, I'm telling you people, if you've never made a top 3 list of something you care about, it's a lot harder than you think. So next time you're yelling at the call guys, think about that first.
Yeah, think about us and our feelings.
Still
Okay,
yell
so-
at them though.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
still
of
yell at
course.
them.
You got to feel that DeLorean.
Email them at the call guy. Is it thecallguys@gmail.com?
The Call Guys Podcast at gmail.com.
Is it the or just call guys podcast?
There's a the in there. Yep.
Okay, so the call guys podcast@gmail.com. Got you.
You got it.
Do
Yep.
that.
Good
Nailed it.
plug.
Email 'em. Yep. We had a buddy try to frame me. Matt knows about this.
Yeah.
Like, we had our buddy that listened to that, and then he was like, Logan sent me here to say this, and I was like, I gave you the email because you asked for it. I didn't send you there. Oh, fucking weapon. I'm calling Kyle Mott out. He's human garbage. So
Human garbage.
human garbage. So we got to, on my screen, the left for Colton, we have got Ashley from Murdnerds. That's right. We've got 3 different podcasts all together tonight. How's it going, Ashley? Or I call you Trashly, but I've heard you refer to yourself as Smashly before, too.
No, just Trashly. That's the only nickname I've got. Well, and Lip
Why Lip?
is my last name.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got the Murdnerds in the house, and we've never had Ashley in.
Oh,
Not a once.
yeah.
We've never done a collab with you guys at all. Never got around to it.
Nope.
So how are
Here we
you
are.
doing?
Me personally, I'm great. I had a great day of cleaning today. Didn't have to deal with anybody, and now I have to deal with all of you guys.
Yeah, at once.
So coming to a bad close, but
Yep. No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Mm,
Well, it's our goal to live up to your expectation.
However low they might be.
True.
So Ashley, for our listeners out there that, we plug the Murdnerds every week, but maybe there's a few out there that haven't checked out the Murdnerds. You want to kind of talk about the Murdnerds just a little bit, give them a little taste from the Ashley side?
yeah, sure. We basically just hang out and bullshit with Jeremy, but we cover true crime, weird, wacky. Alicia does a lot of historical true crime on there. We have a lot of fun. We're doing something fun for April. I don't know when this is going to be released.
This
But-
comes out this Wednesday.
Oh,
Our
This coming
our
Wednesday.
turnaround time is quick on Tejas side.
Right.
This
That's
coming
the
Wednesday on the United States Paranormal.
Yeah, so April's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun recording last night. It was many hours and many episodes and many mispronounced words and lots of editing for Jeremy for the next
Puns.
month. So many puns. Alicia, oh my God.
Oof.
So I tried to count. I couldn't.
That's fair.
Couldn't.
Man, speaking of true crime, have y'all kept up with that case that's been going through court right now? The guy who he murdered his girlfriend, I think it was, who he had a daughter with, and he was using the daughter to spy on her.
No.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. So this guy, like, he gave his daughter a phone that was set up to where she could easily record the stuff the mother was doing and would automatically send him the recordings. Eventually he ended up killing her, and he's been his trial has been happening here lately, and during one of the days of the trial they brought the daughter up for testimony, and you can see him, it's on court, there's a clip from court TV.
Oh, it's horrible.
Where you see him start intimidating his daughter while his daughter's on the stand, like mouthing to, like,
Yeah.
to shut up.
He looks her dead in the face and goes like this
Oh my
on
God.
the stand, and I
Yeah.
was like, "What the fuck?"
And it was right as the camera was focused on him. The court TV camera was focused on him, so that clip immediately went everywhere, and then they started using that as evidence in the trial.
Well, yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah,
Here
it's
in my-
crazy.
Here in my town this week, they found some. They had a hard time identifying it, but they found a chick under her bed wrapped up in a bag. That and then her boyfriend a few days later, I guess, got nervous and straight up just confessed that he did it.
Wow.
Jeez, I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't trust your boyfriends. She wasn't looking at me. It's fine. All right. and legitimately sitting next to Ashley, we have somebody that everybody at Tusop should be familiar with. One of the original hosts from Teen Boogers. We have Alicia.
What up?
Welcome back, Alicia. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I still talk to you regularly. I talk to all of you guys regularly. I talk at you guys regularly. But for everybody out here in Tusop land, that's right. Alicia is back. She's back for episode 52. There was no way I wasn't going to invite her to be back. She was here for the launch. Had to have her come in. So,
Thanks, dude.
hi, Alicia. I was trying to think of something clever to call you because you're legitimately the only person in here outside of myself that doesn't have a nickname. I don't know what I would call you.
Joe Dirte.
Joe Dirte?
Don't church it up.
That's what I call her.
I don't have a nickname.
Your name is Matt Frisby in this, Matt. Is that your real name?
It was.
Matt's got a weird story with his. I did not know when we started to do this podcast, like as we were sitting down talking, it was Boze, said something about Matt Frisby. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I found out there that probably my closest friend changed his name because his last name was in fact Frisby. And the whole time I've known him, it's been Matthew Rowe.
Yeah, so plot twist. I don't use my real last name on this because I thought it would be fun to have a stage name for whatever reason.
Fuck you. When I found out that knowledge and we started to record, I called him Matt Frisby as I introduced him and waited for him to react. And I was like, I got him. He's gonna be like, fuck you. But he just fucking rolled with it like a bastard. So that was it. He just was like, meh.
Yeah, but it was in fact my last name at one point in time.
Yeah, it's because like some stupid ass law in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, his mom was married to somebody else, but they weren't divorced. You tell the
They
story.
were separated.
You were
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
there.
My mom was married to another guy, but they had been separated for like 5 years. And so when my mom and my actual father got together and had me, because of the laws in Louisiana, the person she was married to had to be put as my father on the birth certificate. So I got a total stranger's last name when I was born.
I don't know. Frisbee's kind of a sick last name. Not gonna lie.
You'd think so, but until you hear the same joke over and over and over again.
True.
Well, I mean, with row, you don't catch shit like people be like, hey, row your boat, or why don't you row the fuck away, or anything like that.
No, a big thing that I got, I mean, yes, I've had a couple of those, but the big thing I usually get is dirty jobs.
And you like that because you had that as your gamer tag
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
I was
'cause-
always confused because him and Boze are brothers, but Boze, his name is Brandon, and his last name is Boze, and they both have two different fucking last names. and I always confused the shit
Even
out
then,
of
when
me.
I got my name changed, I didn't go with my father's last name. I went with my mom's maiden name. So I never had the same last name as pretty much the rest of my immediate family.
So now you know that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Facts.
Tragic backstory revealed.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a big chunk of the Golden Image pile of podcasts
Mojo
all wrapped together.
Entertainment Network
Oh yeah,
of
Golden
podcasts.
Image. See, I always go back to Golden Image
Mojo.
because when the radio show happened, it was just Golden Image.
Yep.
I
So
do the
that's
same
where
thing.
that's where
I
my
have to
brain
turn
snaps
around-
to.
I have to turn around and look at the wall when I'm talking about the podcast at the end. I always have to turn around and make sure I'm saying the right one.
Yep.
Because you got to think, I've been around since forever because Bloodline and whatnot. And my whole childhood was spending time with them and everything. So I've seen Jeremy in tons of different bands, tons of different projects. I watched the radio show from Texas when I was a kid as they did it and everything. But like it was, let's see, I've Tiki Lounge Mayhem, Guilt 4, Gunner, Crankshaft Glory. I can't remember exactly
Crystal
what it
Blue
is.
Armadillo.
I was about to say Crystal Blue Armadillo. There's a people draw on electric boxes out here, like it was an art project for the town, and somebody drew an armadillo that's blue, and every time I drive past, I'm like Crystal Blue Armadillo, and it's just like all these things are permanently locked up here, so I have to cycle through it and be like, okay, it's not Golden Image, it's Golden something. Montana, Joe
cousin.
Montana,
Yep.
Mojo, and then there it is.
That's a long walk to get there.
It really is. I mean, my email has GI in it, my midday morning one, because when I put that together, the only time I've ever edited anything in my life is when I lived under Gunner's bunk bed. I was his bunkmate, legitimately.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to record something too. And this was back when they weren't really using the studio anymore. It was like, I had to go in there, and it was like that scene in the second Tron where the homeboy walks in there and like blows the dust off a fucking keyboard. And I was like, I'm going to make a movie. And it's
what are you thinking? 2013? 2012, 2013?
It'd probably been 2013. And so like I learned how to do video editing and stuff in there. And it was gnarly. It was cool. I always wanted to work with all of them because like I said, I left before any of the kids were aged to like get in on any of that stuff. I mean, me and Gunner and Skylar and Brianna had like a band when we were kids where we would just fuck around and stuff like that, but that was it. But yeah, it's hard to keep track of all the things Jeremy did, and I'm sure there's a ton that we've left out.
Oh, there is. I'm sure.
It's like Tiki Lounge Mayhem had stuff like Bear Ninja Cowboy.
Yep.
The Born in the Cab song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. But
go check it out on YouTube if you ever.
Yeah, you can go check it out on YouTube. You can go check out Chico's old YouTube page too. You got like that Trick Shot compilation that's got a massive ton of views from back in the day.
Yep, Flapjack 630.
I don't know if any of you have ever watched Gunner in How to Survive Slender Man, but peak acting if you want to check him and me out, where at one point we legitimately pick his sister up and throw her in a trunk of a car and drive away.
Yep. There's some good Colton loves those videos.
They are
sway away.
great drunk late night videos to watch.
Dude, they're all set to private now because like we were all younger when we did it, but we used to do a show, me, Matt, and a group of our friends where we sat on my couch and we called it the BWB Talk Off, and it was just us sitting on a couch talking, and there were some questionable things said, so now it's all set to private. And there's one of them that got there's one of them that got a metric fuck ton of views for all the wrong reasons because of the thumbnail and what it was titled.
Same, exact same.
One of them is called Sexy Braille, and I found a picture of somebody that had Braille tattooed right here, and it got a fuck ton of views, and I was like, those people are really disappointed when they click on this because it's just a bunch of dudes on a couch.
And the other one was called Slated.
Yeah.
Called Adam Spits on Ashley.
Nice. You're getting a very specific demographic for that video.
Oh, Adam Spits on Ashley's chest.
It's
right.
very funny video, but the average age
demographic
was like 60s.
Whoa.
So,
You know?
male.
That's dope.
Oh, good lord.
That's how you
What
play
was
the
the-
algorithm.
I showed Matt this and it made him laugh. What was the vampire one you did in college, Gunner?
Oh, Vampire Cops.
Vampire Cops. You remember that, Maddie?
Oh, that's a great video.
Oh God! Have you guys seen that? Ashley, have you seen Vampire Cops?
sucks cock?
Oh, it's so good because it's like Dog the Bounty Hunter meets Supernatural because it's these guys that are like cop cams, like a cop show, like where they interview the cop and everything, but they're out hunting vampires, and it's fucking amazing. But yeah, that scene where they're grilling the vampire because they're trying to figure out if the naked guy in his house is there because they're feeding off him. He's like, no, I'm not feeding off him. It's my lover. And he's like, oh, so you have sex with him? And he's like, oh no, I mean yes. and so they basically start accusing him of being gay over and over and over again. And he's like, Gunner busting. He's like, this guy say he sucks cock. And he's like, no, I don't suck cock. I suck blood. And he's like, I got you, you son of a bitch.
Vampires are notorious homophobes.
Yeah, that was fucking amazing. It's so good.
It is good.
Oh man, you definitely.
I'm gonna find it. I'll send it in the group message.
Well,
so you,
yo,
you
Yeah,
when
I
we
wanna
get-
watch that. I want to watch all of that.
When this is posted, the socials will have. I'm getting that one first. The Ashley's chest one still out there.
It's
no,
privatized.
Damn it. Okay, I'll send you a link to How to Survive Slenderman. I will send you a link to Vampire Cops and whatever else. We'll have it in the socials.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the link,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna go off private.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like I said, it was this year that we started doing the podcast, and I was watching. Once a year I watch the BWBs because it's fun to go back and watch. And then there was a few things said by people, and I was like, chances if we get big, this should probably not exist. They're just like,
Get
and
rid
then
of
we
it
got
before people start looking for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was
There it is.
fun. It was a good
Gunner's
time.
on it.
Yep.
You got it. I have that copied like always to my clipboard on my phone. So
Oh, that's
Just
good.
Like, you guys want to see a funny video? I got you.
Oh man,
You will laugh. You will laugh. It's good. It's funny. It's fun.
It
to go back
really
and
is.
watch. I watch
I
it all
wanna-
the time.
give credit where credit is due. That's a hilarious video. I love that
Absolutely.
one.
Yeah, I really
I
wanna
play
watch
the
the bear cowboy.
Bare Ninja Cowboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be prepared to get that stuck in your head. For listeners that don't know, Jeremy and Brad, yeah, they had a band called Tiki Lounge Mayhem where they did a lot of kind of parody-esque songs, like kind of the vibe of like Tenacious D style-esque. And they did
Yeah.
a song explaining it's like rock, paper, scissors, but instead it's Bear Ninja Cowboy. And I had the lyrics burnt in my head for the rest of forever because it's just catchy as shit. Because it's like the main chorus is literally just Bear Ninja Cowboy. Oh, just over and over and over.
Yeah.
again.
I actually P-Tart 101, Jared, my good friend, his dad, the Skywalker, and myself played. Jared was like the umpire. I was the ninja. Skylar was the bear, and then Jared's dad was the cowboy.
Who was the skeleton that almost got smoked out by the fog machine?
That was Skylar.
Yeah, he was in the skeleton mask with the fog
Yeah.
machine hitting him like right in the face while he had a mask on.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. It's fun to go watch. If you watch it, pay attention to when the ninja fights the cowboy. During recording, I literally kicked Jared's dad in the nuts on accident, and he dropped.
Speaking
So-
of Jarrett, P-Tart, he was in How to Survive Slenderman too. He was Slenderman.
He was.
And
yep.
if you watch in the credits, you just see him dancing off in the woods in the background while we were closing it. He was just in the wood line, just dancing his fucking tall heart out.
Yep.
I felt so bad for him too, because one, when we were doing this, the only way we could make the Slenderman face look real, and like, if people don't know, which you should if you listen to this podcast, Slenderman is a tall, faceless man, suit, all that work. Well, we had to put so many pantyhose on his head so you could not see his facial features, right? And the ending scene, Slenderman gets shot in the head. And so what I did is I watched a YouTube video. They're like, if you take peanut butter and shape it the way you want and cover it with enough fake blood, it looks like a gunshot wound, right? So this poor kid's already got like 12 layers of pantyhose on his face. He's laying on the ground in Atwood, Indiana, behind the abandoned school in the woods. I stick peanut butter on his forehead, And I was like, I'm gonna pour fake blood on you now. And I had a Tupperware container like this, and I was just like, dump. So it's all in the thing, and it's just pouring into his face through pantyhose. And it's fake blood recipe. It's cornstarch and all that shit. So it's sticky and horrible, and he's probably already having a hard time breathing. The only thing that might have been close to being as bad as that was I think it was you, Gunner. Was it you that got the fake vomit in your mouth? Or was it me?
I think it was probably you. I don't remember that.
I just remember, I can't remember who had to do it. I just remember I tasted it when I made it, and it's just the texture made me want to actually vomit. I think it was me, because I think I swallowed some of it. It wasn't great. It was fun, though. We shot that all in a day.
Yeah. Good times.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so
a lot of elements. We did up and around town. It's so embarrassing.
Ashley just humped things.
Various items throughout the town.
Nice.
It got pretty big.
Then we took it down.
And then we took it down.
Yeah.
Fair.
And we just bullshitted to just the two of us. We never did anything crazy. We made like an emoji video, but there was some very
It didn't age well.
very
Let's just say that.
outdated jokes in that, so we pulled that a long time ago. But we were
Yeah.
like 15 when we made it.
That's fair. Like I said, ours all of my friends at the time were all living in apartments near each other, and it was just us sitting on a couch. There was a lot of inside jokes that like we would say and we thought were hilarious, but didn't think about the fact that nobody watching it out of the 70 people that watched it probably knew what the fuck we were talking about. It started out as us getting questions from people and putting it in a bowl and pulling it, and then it just escalated to us just talking about whatever the fuck we wanted to, and it got pretty rough. There's a lot of talk about aliens and just a bunch of weird shit. It was a good time until it wasn't, you know. Matt's couch tries to cripple you back then. He had just like an early adult, he had a sectional couch that I don't know where they got it from that was missing half the section.
Probably the side of the road.
And if you sat down in the wrong spot, which I did multiple times, like I would slam myself down, there was no padding and the sectional had the divider. So it's just wood right to your spine.
Nice.
And it would just try to cripple you. It was awful.
I think it was a death trap. It has absolute
It's like a
death
horror
trap.
movie.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. But that's a trip down memory. You ever make any videos, Colton? I know you were probably in a lot of sports videos since you did the whole basketball and did it good. We did. That's not a wrong statement. You did it good. You did it good.
I am on YouTube. I have a missed dunk on YouTube, so I got that going for me.
Missed dunk?
Yeah, I missed one, but what they don't show is like half a quarter later I get one, and you know, it is what it is. It was a big deal when it got posted.
That's fucked.
It happens.
This dude killed it as a basketball player, and they're like, let's put the missed dunk on YouTube.
Everyone's just
big
like, look at this
controversy.
asshole.
Pretty much. Come on, Gunner, man. Just
Has he got the poster?
Yeah, he's got the poster.
Yeah, we told this story in here because I was so fucking befuddled by it when I heard it about the fact that you went to Petart's house to use his internet to download something on your Xbox and you saw a poster of you in his bedroom.
Yep, that's so true.
Oh
No,
man,
it's
I
here.
would promptly leave Matt's house if I walked in his anywhere room in his house and he had a poster of me. I'd be like, I'm going,
Oh no, that's because
Oh.
I
and I'd be
down
taking the
before you come
poster
over.
with me.
It was weird. It was
No.
above his bed. That was the weird part.
Just on
That
the
was-
ceiling.
I think it was.
Right now, it's above my toilet for
Yeah, it's fair.
inspiration.
Above Petart's bed, it was Shakira, Britney Spears, and right in the middle is Colton.
That's right. That's what it was. That's what it was. No, man, I never did any videos or anything like that. I mean, I've got a lot of basketball stuff, and that's about it, really. Never really got into the quote-unquote arts.
It's fair. It's nice of you to call it arts.
It's a
All the
loose
things
term.
we got.
Within
Yeah,
the woke.
very- Art is subjective. And
I
most
have-
of my art was subjectively horrible.
I have a bunch of friends who went to film school, and so I'm in a bunch of their projects, usually either as a gay man or as a victim. Sometimes a murderer. I've killed one or two people in their videos as well. usually very homosexually charged rages, I think, is what's been what has been my
That's weird that they
motivation for
keep
murder.
specifically casting you for that.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
it. Well, no, it's the arcing universe of the stories where it's me and one other
Oh,
person,
okay.
and it's just our relationship is either very explicitly homosexual or very much like the undertone is very homosexual. It's a lot of fun.
See, I've always been cops or detectives. So some vampire cops, Shriek, I was a detective. You know, like it's always been something with that. But I've also always loved like buddy cop films and like detective like TV shows and stuff like that. So it's always like connected. So it's always been
Oh
fun.
yeah, we lost
but-
out one year at a film festival to a detective short film.
So Matt hates detectives now.
Absolutely, a
Sorry.
detective killed my parents.
Well,
I
I'm
thought
always
about
just a foul
horror
mouth.
film before COVID, but I think production got shut down during COVID and they never picked it back up.
Isn't it on Amazon?
No, it's never been released. They never finished shooting.
Oh, I thought it was on Amazon.
And I gained
Prime.
so much weight during COVID, I couldn't go and finish the finish the movie with.
That's
Uh,
embarrassing.
I think everybody did. That's probably why they just nicked it.
Yeah, well,
Everybody looks different.
Yeah, everybody looked so different.
I didn't get to stop working, so nothing really changed for me other than I couldn't go to the stores.
Yeah, same.
They were like, nope, you're good. Keep working. I was like, fuck. All right.
You're essential.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Texas and it's air conditioning, so I feel that. It's fine. It's needed. But, you know, we've gotten this far in, and I haven't even said to all the listeners, welcome to episode 52, or probably like 30 to 40 minutes into this. It's a chiller filler, clearly. This isn't us just talking for 40 minutes like Tejas normally does before we talk about something spooky. This is our year anniversary. We wanted to do something special. But before we get into that, me and Maddie just need to talk about for a brief second that after episode 52, Team Tejas, unfortunately, will not be part of Tusop anymore. Life gets hectic.
Boo.
Yeah, exactly. Boozers will be doing it from here on out. It's just life gets hectic. We've got jobs, kids, and a lot of work, and it just gets in the way sometimes. We love doing it. We love Jeremy and Team Boozers. And everybody in the Golden Mojo Network. That's why we got all these right here. This is the bow tie to it because I've always wanted to work with both these teams and never got around to it, and I wasn't gonna leave without getting to do it. So I've got them all crammed into one spot so we can leave on a high note or them not like us by the end of it and they won't want to talk to us anymore.
Yeah, we've got a lot of just stuff at home that requires attention, and hopefully after some undisclosed period of time, that type of attention will no longer be required, and we'll be free to pursue anything and everything we can think of.
Basically, it's me and Matt are leaving our families to get married to each other in Canada and start a new life. It's been a long time coming, but needs to happen. And that's the reason he keeps getting casted as gay man in movies. It's because he is very much in gay love with me.
It's my chance to live my truth, and it's time I do that for real.
Yeah, we've franchised a Tim Hortons out there. We're going to run a little donut shop. So.
Franchise to Timor.
I love it. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, you see, I went from financial stability here working with air conditioners because it's needed. I'm doing the same in Canada. They need Tim Hortons. Franchise a Tim Hortons.
It's also going to double as a heating place, and
Yeah,
he's going to shift
yeah.
from AC to
Just heating.
heating.
Nice.
done with air
Could you
conditioning.
like mix a Tim Hortons and like a Whataburger up there and just do like donut burgers? or
Listen,
something?
listen.
That'd be
As a
sick.
Texas resident, and I might, and you know, this is the time for hot takes because I'm leaving the podcast. Listen,
Yes. Yes.
Whataburger
Anybody-
sucks, man.
Whataburger is Whataburger is a basic bitch, 100%, and it's a pricey basic bitch too.
I
Yeah,
read an article. They ranked Whataburger the best burger.
yeah. That's
Behind
because
any
Whataburger
burger.
paid him off.
Yeah, they used all that spicy ketchup money. I'll give them this. Their spicy ketchup's great. Everything else can suck my ass till my eyes cave in. I'm good.
Yeah,
Their onion rings are horrible. I ain't about it.
Their
I've never
burgers-
tried the breakfast stuff
yeah.
because I'm not a breakfast person.
their
But,
burgers just taste like grease.
so if you love Whataburger,
That's how it's
come at
supposed
me.
to be.
Good. I'm so hungry.
If you want to yell at me for shitting on Whataburger, just email Jeremy at the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. He'll handle it. I'm out at the end, so it's fine. And that's the theme of the episode. Hit
I'm
Jeremy
burning.
up.
I'm burning bridges on the way
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Deuces.
No, I live 3 minutes away from Whataburger. I've eaten there all of twice. I ain't about it.
I ate there
disappointing.
the last time we were down in Texas. The last time we came down to see you guys.
There's a
We
lot of places you
made
should have
it.
ate at instead of there, man.
Well, we wanted to try it. We don't
That's
have it
fair.
up here. We want to try it.
I'm
It
just
wasn't that
happy
good.
that a few years back, I used to work at the Warsaw Radio Shack when I was in Indiana. During my
Gone.
pre-midlife crisis. When I went to Indiana, I was tired of Texas. Like, I'm going to the Great White North. Fuck all of you. Good idea. Let's do it. Tried that out for a little while. I worked at Warsaw Radio Shack, and right next to there was a Steak and Shake. And fuck, do I love Steak and Shake. I love me a jalapeno crunch burger. And
Also
if I
gone.
moved, fuck you. It's order it. Oh, that's the Steak and Shake's gone.
Both. Yeah,
You
both.
Well, I know
Oh.
Radio Shack's gone. I fucking laughed at them when they went under. Fuck those guys. But they built a Steak and Shake like 2 years back. They built one here in Beaumont. There's no Steak and Shakes anywhere, and they're like, we're building a new building. I was like, wonder what it is, and they're like, Steak and Shake, and I was like, oh man, thank you.
Are there
7 thin fries.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
That Warsaw Steak and Shake was on point though. I
Oh,
lived
it was. Oh yeah, I'd leave Radio Shack and I'd go sit in there and eat, man. Get me, like I said, jalapeno steak crunch burger. Get me some of them Parmesan fries they used to have. They took those off the menu here though. Let me tell you, those assholes started trying to use paper straws for a little bit. I love the concept because fuck turtle nooses. I don't want turtles dying. They're awesome. But paper straws are a flawed fucking concept, dude. And you spend your whole life sucking on a plastic straw. You put paper in your mouth. It feels wrong. And then the bitch caves in when you're halfway through your soda. Just take the lid off and drink out of the foam cup, man.
Keep going. Keep going. What else? What else? What else? This is like Festivus.
I'm gonna have PETA coming after me. Listen, like I said, I'm not for plastic straws. Turtle nooses aren't cool. I've watched a video of them pulling one out of a turtle's nose. It's awful.
Yeah, Logan prefers to beat the turtles to death himself. Get really hands-on with it.
Yet again, if you have problems
heard
with
the
it,
sound of a turtle dying.
email us at the United States Paranormal at gmail.com if you're upset about me beating turtles to death.
Let Jeremy take care of it.
Oh God. But yeah, we got a Steak and Shake here now, and I eat there not all the time, but when I feel like feeling like crap the rest of the day, because it definitely makes me feel like I got hit by a greasy truck, but it's worth it.
I do miss it. I miss it.
Yeah,
I'm
are
not
there
gonna
even
lie.
any more in our area?
No.
I can't
Wayne's
believe they
got a
killed it.
couple.
Like I expected Radio Shack to eat shit. As I was going, shit was folding. I actually have. They're gone now, so they can't come at me. In my kitchen, before I left Warsaw, I stood on the counter and I unscrewed the R from the Radio Shack sign that was hanging above the counter. I fucking took it with me, and it's hanging in my kitchen right now. Fucking like a year later, my ex, the manager of that store, emailed me. He's like, you took it, didn't you? I'm going to do something about it. I was like, what? I live in Texas now, dude. You're going to send the cops after me? Good luck. Like, I was like, it's hanging in my kitchen. Come at me. It's fine. Do what you want. Over a wooden R.
Are there any Indiana fast food chains that are really popular?
Penguin Point.
Penguin Point, man, which, yeah. They
Call
closed like
Guys-
7 locations, but just
Call-
reopened 2 of those locations.
Yeah, they
Call
did.
Guys knows all about Penguin's Point. Matt, unfortunately, doesn't listen to everything. So why don't you fill Matt in on the Penguin, the Wally Point debacle?
Wally
'Cause it's
Bucks.
great.
Bucks.
Wally
Yeah, go ahead,
Bucks.
Golden.
Don't be disrespectful. So we did a giveaway. Gunner was gifted about 50 Wally Bucks, and we decided to do a giveaway. You know, big thing. You know, guy wins it. Turns out to be a family friend, I think, of Gunner's, and I've known this guy for forever. And you know, a couple weeks pass. We get him the Wally Bucks, and we're like, dude, like. Have you talked to him to let him know how it went? And he's like, oh, no, I probably should. So Gunner hits him up, and he's like, yeah, so you can't really use the Wally Bucks. You could only use the Wally Bucks for ice cream and kids' meals. And
The ice cream machine was broke.
and the ice cream machine was broke. And on top of that, they were closing. How many did they close? Like 7
I think
or
it's 7, yeah.
yeah, they closed 7 Penguin Points like right when we did this giveaway.
Wally Bucks was pimped through a few Call Guys episode too. It was no like
yeah.
one and done episode. It was built up.
So,
Yeah.
so what is
We had
Penguin
quite a
Point?
few. 50s Diner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they serve crinkle cut fries and really, really big tenderloin sandwiches.
Okay.
Oh, they're not big.
Well, not even
They're
big, not even big by
They're
because
just-
most
they're just
restaurants
good.
Yeah, tenderloins.
So I see there's a correlation between the call guys and Penguin Point, so we can blame the call guys on the fall of Penguin Point.
Yeah, no, everybody heard
Apparently.
about the Wally Buck shit, and they're like, nah, cancel Penguin Point. This is bullshit. And so they went under because of the call guys.
No, dude, they literally closed 7 locations on the day that episode aired where we gave them away. The
Yeah.
same day. It was recorded before.
The whole reason Chico, this is probably why they closed. The whole reason Chico had the fucking Penguin Points
Yeah, this is
is
true.
because they whiffed his fucking carryout order or delivery. Was it
My
delivery?
wife's, yeah, she Grubhubbed it.
They whiffed it so fucking hard where the guy was like, "I'm sorry, here's 50 Wally Bucks," and he was just that guy was just praying she didn't know what the fuck Wally Bucks were good for when he handed them to her. And he was
nobody knew they existed.
Yeah, I never heard of Wally Bucks.
He probably just like quickly like created them in like paint, paint or something. Was like, all right, give these to her.
Kind of
really
reminds,
well knowing his store was
Yeah.
closing.
kind of reminds me of like they're called Buddy Bucks at HEB.
Oh, Buddy's the paper bag of groceries. It's their weird like mascot
Yeah.
they hand children on stickers.
And you can get these stupid, I think they're called Buddy Bucks, that you can spend at a vending machine to get crappy prizes.
Well, I mean, it's better
That'd
than
be-
ice
that'd be
cream you
more
can't
worth
get
it.
because the machine's broken.
Yeah, it was quite the giveaway we've
And knowing
done.
Penguin Point, like he uses the Wally Bucks, he's like, I want a kid's meal then. And they look and there's like, there ain't no kid in your fucking car. You ain't getting shit.
Well, Matt, I will
talked-
tell you, if you do come up here,
Uh-huh.
anytime to Indiana, stop by. We'll take you out to Penguin Point
Oh,
because
yeah.
it is actually really good.
If they're still there.
It'll still be here.
I'll
So
get it.
bad.
Oh,
you know
no.
what?
Yeah,
Indiana
absolutely.
restaurant is good though.
What?
I said, do you
What?
know what Indiana restaurant is good? Indiana
I
only.
half don't believe
Is it
Indiana's
in your
a real
town?
place.
It's Hacienda.
Oh, yeah.
Hacienda is basically their
Fake
Casa Olay
Mexican.
mat, but like Casa Olay had sex with an Applebee's. You know?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Because Casa Olay is Tex-Mex place here. This like generic white people Mexican food that everybody loves, but it's small. But Hacienda is not fucking small. That building is big in Warsaw. Like it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
decent size. And
They're
like
all big.
I don't even know if Hacienda could be considered Tex-Mex. It's like worse than that.
It's American Mexican.
It's
Yeah, it's
American Mexican.
I pretty much only get Mexican food at like Mexican meat markets and stuff now.
well, I know Chico's family likes to go there and get the ranch.
Oh my
The,
god!
like the
Oh,
chip.
yeah.
There's a dip they have for the chips that's ranch. And they like to get that.
You mix your ranch and your salsa there together because their salsa is really good too.
That's
but you
cool.
mix them together.
What I
Ashley
need-
worked at Hacienda
I'm
for
so
what, 3 years?
hungry.
Well, go get in Alicia's fridge.
I worked at
I told her
Hacienda for a
to.
long time.
She has kids. There's probably like a Lunchable in there, maybe. Stuff to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Is that?
There, see? Yeah. But
Might have to use a hot dog bun, but
I tell you what, when I
And that's the
when I
best way
worked
to do
in
it.
Plymouth, I fucked up the gyro place in Plymouth all.
Oh,
the
King Gyros.
King gyros, man. I mean, your breath would be kicking the rest of the day, for sure.
They're
But it
hot
was
in
worth it.
restaurants.
Dude, their gyro plate get extra tzatziki and one
extra
extra
cheese,
pita.
bro. I get extra cheese,
Oh,
man. I love
yeah,
that shit.
that cheese.
Oh man, it's good.
I get extra tzatziki and I don't eat the pita. I just mix everything together and eat it with a fork.
Yeah. I miss
This
that
is the
place.
place that was behind Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always went to Taco Bell.
Aw.
Uh,
Oh, I tell you what, working at Plymouth Radio Shack was that was an experience.
Speaking
The-
of Taco
like-
Bell,
Oh yeah, the volcano menu's coming back.
yes, they
We gotta
just
talk
announced
there.
they're bringing back their best menu items.
I don't know.
all right.
I'm trying to think because I'm older than Chico by a bit. So when the volcano taco and everything was big, I could drive to Taco Bell, but you probably weren't even scooting around on your little moped yet.
Probably not.
So you might have missed out on it. Like, do you guys remember the volcano taco? It was red, had the sauce. It was awesome.
I'm
I
sure
don't
Colton
remember,
does.
but I'm pumped.
I don't like spicy.
I love Taco Bell.
Yeah, I
let's
remember
go.
it. I
They-
remember it.
Like for years, that's all. Like we actually lost volcano tacos because of the deal they made with Doritos for the Doritos Locos Tacos when it first came out.
They're bullshit.
They didn't want there to be another, even though the volcano shell had no flavor, it was just red. Pizza Hut, fucking Doritos was like, we do not want to compete with another special taco. So in order to get this, get rid of that and you can have this. And then we got the Doritos Loco Taco. When it came out, it was big things because I lived with Chico when it came out. We went and got
it was good. It was good at the time. Now it's kind of hit or miss. I don't care.
And then they introduced more flavors and eventually they got rid of the rest of the flavors, but we lost the volcano taco for God knows how long. And it makes me wonder if that means we're going to lose the Doritos Locos Tacos or if they're just going to put the volcano sauce on a regular taco shell, which I don't care. The sauce is what matters anyways.
Get yourself a Cool Ranch volcano taco.
Ooh.
They don't even make the Cool Ranch ones anymore, dog.
Yeah, you can only
It's
get
all
don't.
nacho.
I
It's
don't
only
order them.
It's only nacho cheese. They killed Cool Ranch and the other ones like 2 years ago.
Here's the problem with Taco Bell. I can't get away from just the Chipotle chicken melts because they're so damn good.
Everything I
They're
love
good.
to talk. Everything. Anytime I love a product, it's fucking either seasonal or limited edition, and I get fucked.
Same.
Yeah,
Because-
at Ball State, every time they came out with something new, like the college kids were like their main, like we got to market this to them. So that little Taco Bell in our student center would bring in every single little thing that they were getting ready to put out. So like Chick Stars and like anything that had like a piece of fried chicken in it or like different types of crunch wraps. Like we were always getting new stuff, and it's like I want that stuff back because a lot of that stuff was actually really good.
Listen, dude, Taco Bell has no business frying chicken ever.
I'm telling you right now, it was good.
When they do that fucking awful fucking like it's like a taco, but instead of a tortilla, fried piece of chicken.
Bring it.
No,
Yeah.
it was horrible.
I can't think
It's like the
of
Delta down at KFC. They're like, what can we do to appease Americans? And like 2 pieces of fried chicken instead of bread, bacon in the middle.
Dude, that was killer. Was that was that KFC?
Legitimately killer people. It would kill people. Yes, the Delta down is KFC, and it's back too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So-
I tried for the first time a Double Down the other day, and it is everything I expected it to be, which was just confirmation of the downfall of society. It was just like it was idiocracy in a sandwich.
Oh, literally.
Oh well, hey, they did the Buffalo Wild Wings a few years back. They did the Idiocracy wings, and I went to try those. They did the Mountain Dew wings at Buffalo Wild Wings years ago.
Yeah.
Those were not that good.
No, they weren't. They were very much not good. And then they did Dorito wings last year, and those were bad too.
Speaking of idiocracy, did any of you hear about what they did at South by Southwest this year?
I don't watch news or anything, so
Well, I caught wind of it on TikTok, but Terry Crews came out to South by Southwest, and they did a launch party for the 2024 presidential campaign of President Camacho. It was fantastic. I saw videos and stuff from it. It was really dope.
okay. So
Yeah.
while we're talking about it, everybody's got to have a favorite discontinued food product. We're gonna do it. And Chico looks like he's stressing about the most, so we're gonna start with Chico.
Don't start with me. I can't. I'm trying to think of one.
Mine's bittersweet because I got mine back. I got Pitch Black back, and they're already taking it off shelves, which is bullshit. I'm a Mountain Dew fanboy, but I worked hard voting to make Pitch Black a permanent flavor back in the day. They had a vote, and it won, and it was a permanent flavor for like 2 years, and then they took it away. And now they're about to do it to me again. That and the volcano taco. That one hurts my soul. I also miss those Doritos they made in the 90s that was Taco Bell's like the Supreme taco back in the 90s. It was good. It's gone forever too.
But actually, before we get into this, those spicy sweet chili B-dubs wings were actually decent. I thought they were pretty good.
Listen, last time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I was done so dirty. I don't ever want to go back. Listen, they have their own Mountain Dew now, which is really good.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't
I was
bad.
like, I'm going to order something different. I'm going to get this sandwich. And they call it the saucy chicken sandwich, right? I get this thing. My bun is like stale. And you get to pick your sauce, and they're supposed to cover the whole chicken sandwich in it, right? There's like a thimble of sauce splashed on this piece of chicken. And I'm like, I'm just so sad. And our waitress already wasn't coming to see us ever. And I was like, I'm just going to eat this. And I ate half it. And I just like kind of cried a little bit. Kayla's food, she got like they got like a chicken tender hot dog kind of thing going on there. And hers looked awesome. Like instead of a hot dog, it's like a chicken tender with all the garnishings and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And it was dope looking. But mine was the saddest fucking chicken sandwich ever. And I was like, I should have just went to Popeyes and got a chicken sandwich.
Bird dogs, that's what they're called.
Yeah, she got the bird dog, and it looked great. We had tater tots that were dope, but if I get wings now, I just hit up Wingstop because Wingstop has dope fries and good ranch. Wingstop's where it's at, homie.
I used to get
Damn
so much.
right.
And they have the chicken sandwich now that's fucking good, and they actually put sauce on it.
I used to get so much
fuck
free
Buffalo Wild
food from
Wings.
Wingstop. My mother-in-law used to work for corporate, and they'd send her out to like open up new stores and to do like franchise tests.
For clarification, this is the mother-in-laws who asked you slapped, correct? Slap mother-in-law?
Yes. Oh god. I'll tell this
talking about
story,
food
but first
anymore.
I have to go pull my stew from the stove.
He'll be right back. But yeah,
Do that already?
no, he turned it off. Now he has to remove it.
Wow, this is
My
great.
gosh.
I'm burning all the bridges, including me and Matt's friendship as we're leaving here. He's telling this
Oh
story
my
on the air for
gosh.
everybody to hear.
I'm looking at discontinued snacks to see which ones I missed because I can't think of a single discontinued snack that I.
Dude, I'm
I
telling
got
you.
two that kind of discontinued, kind of not.
Oh man, everything I end up loving ends up being seasonal, and I just it fucking crushes my soul. Mountain Dew's done it to me multiple times. Supernova and all those were great flavors, and they're gone forever. The original Game Fuel, now they do those weird fuckboy gamer fuels that come in the can. They go. Tss. Ugh. I'll bitch
What do
about
they
it all
do?
night.
Yeah, those are mid.
They go. Tss.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the noise they make. All right, Matt, you were telling a story. It was very important
Yes.
to your character development.
So yes, at one point, I walked into the kitchen, and I saw my wife bent over in the fridge. It's like, well, my wife now. She's my girlfriend at the time. I was like, all right, here we go. And I wind up and give the biggest slap I can muster. And then it's actually her mom whose ass I slapped. So she stands up, and I just look at her, I was like, oh, God, no. I went and ran and hid.
Yeah,
It was
she
very
looked Matt in the
embarrassing.
face and she was like, "Please, sir, may I have another?"
That's why she gives them all the good stuff. All the
Yeah, that's why she was getting all the free wings.
Oh, yeah, that was, man, I missed those. The free wings are great, because, like I said, she worked for corporate.
Oh, I thought you were going a whole nother
No,
direction
I'm not
there
going
for a
somewhere
brief
weird with
second.
this. But all the stores would give her, like, free meal coupons, and then she'd just give them to us. And we ate a lot of Wingstop back then. I miss it.
When we me and Caleb worked at the Radio Shack in Indiana, at that time girlfriend worked at Pizza Hut as a second job. And when people would fill up for all you kids that don't know, Pizza Hut used to have a lunch buffet that was awesome.
They
And
still got a couple.
Not here. All of ours closed down, got turned
Yeah.
into other restaurants, and now it's all to-go Pizza Hut. But they'd have these cards to where if you did it so many times, you get a free Pizza Hut buffet, right?
Yep.
Well, when they get filled, they have to hand them to their waiter or waitress. Well, so she would give them to me and Caleb. So we were like, we'll go eat the buffet all the time until they started to catch on. They're like, there's no way you're filling your card up every day. So then we had to start going to different Pizza Huts, like strategically. But eventually they caught on and they just straight up told us we couldn't do it anymore. They didn't know how we were gaming the system. They just knew we were.
Broke the system. How dare you?
I feel like
I stand firmly by Pizza Hut. I know everybody loves Domino's or Papa John's, but nobody out pizzas the Hut, man. I mean, they gave me pizza for reading when I was a kid. They had cool Casper puppets. I love Pizza Hut.
I mean, it just sounds like you were indoctrinated into the Pizza
That's
Hut
fair.
life.
Marketing, dog. Marketing comes at me sideways. I'm all for a good marketing campaign.
Dude, I sent you the menu for it, but this pizza place we just found out about, it's actually a brewery, but they make pizzas and stuff there. They have a bunch of really cool pizzas, and all the spicy pizzas is like topped with the hottest fuck honey, the Dick's hottest fuck honey.
Yeah, we have a local guy that makes hot sauce. His name Dick Cox. Or that's what he calls his hot sauce, and he makes awesome hot sauce, and they're named after a bunch of like pop culture stuff. Like we were in talks of doing an interview with him, but burning bridges. Like he has like a Clockwork Orange, which is like an orange sauce tasting one, and then he's got like Soylent Green and like just a bunch of really good sauces. And we used to get it from they would do a market at the brewery that we did live shows at, Poor Brothers. Rest in peace, Poor Brothers. They're gone again. Yeah, no, they survived being closed down because people rallied together and Kickstarter made them a bunch of money so they could stay open. But all these people that threw money at them forgot that for it to stay open, they would actually have to go to said fucking bar and spend money and time. And so they ended up closing back down like 2 months ago. But they were big about supporting the community. So every month they would throw a thing to where local vendors could come to their brewery and set up inside the brewery, outside the brewery, and all around and sell their stuff. And he would always sell there, and that's how I would re-up my hot sauce. But now it's closed, so I'll have to hit him up and get him some.
Yeah,
get some from him.
Blair ran into him at they do a farmer's market in Port Neches, and he'll come out there and sell. So that might be your chance to re-up periodically.
There'll be some hot sauce.
Man, we had such a great. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I was gonna say, we had such a great relationship with Poor Brothers. It's really a shame that they shut down. I mean, they were kind enough to let us come out there and do 2 live shows. And I mean, I don't know who I sure as fuck wouldn't want to listen to us live. So it was fantastic they let us come out. And they did some really cool stuff. Like we got to go see Killer Clowns from Outer Space there.
Yeah, and meet a guy that helped produce it and or helped to work the soundboard and all that stuff.
He was the assistant editor on the film.
Yeah. But that being said, you guys, it sounds daunting, but like live shows, man, they're fun. I was nervous the first time we did it, but it was a blast, and I love doing it again. And I would absolutely do it again. It was fun. Pico?
That's something I think that we should try to do one time.
Well, if we can get fucking Golden Image to 4,000 downloads,
Right.
Yep.
and Slam Jam happens, there should absolutely be some live shows there.
Yeah.
If you're doing bands,
Agreed.
there should be a live show at Slam Jam.
Look,
And if Slam Jam gets going, I'll make a fucking trip to Indiana. I will go to fucking Slam Jam.
a live.
And I will get in whatever is left of that pond, no matter how dirty, I will get in it.
You don't want to get.
What I figured out is that a live podcast is something that a lot of communities, like a lot of places, like you're not going to see. So it's something unique and interesting that venue owners actually want to experiment with, actually pull in different crowds or another event that they can have to bring in crowds. One thing we talked about with a couple of places was to come in and do a horror movie trivia night. And as a film podcast, you guys could totally like hit up some venues and offer to do film trivia nights. And
Colton?
yeah,
Rudy's.
I don't think Rudy's is the right kind of place for.
Here it is.
I mean, nah, I don't know. That would be a good setup though.
It's like I said, it's nerve-wracking at first, and like at first you have to kind of bug people to get them involved because everybody's a little slow at the beginning, but by the end of it, you have people stand up left and right to talk. I mean, our first one, we had the dude that was serving food and seasonals was doing telling a whole story from inside the food truck.
yeah. Logan loves to berate our audience.
Oh, absolutely! I love chastising people, man. That's my thing, dude. You know, it's what floats in my boat. So, and yes, that might sound vaguely sexual, but you know, it is what it is.
It absolutely is.
Chico, discontinued snack.
So actually, it's something that's come back recently, and not to go back to Taco Bell, but I'm going back to Taco Bell. But the Mexican pizza.
It doesn't
Yeah.
count when it doesn't
Yeah.
come. But it doesn't count when it comes back like a Kmart Phoenix, and it's not even the fucking same.
It's
All
not the
right.
same. That's what sucks.
That
It's not
circles
good.
back to live shows because when me and Matt tripped all the way out to Houston to go to Ingenious Brewery to do the monster beers, where I got, let me tell you, we talked about in the show,
Oh my
but
God.
I got, dude. First of all, we were sitting down and we were handing out stickers to people as they were coming in and talking to people. We had some guy from fucking Cincinnati roll up, and he was talking to us, and he brought beers with him because he was traveling around the United States hitting breweries, and he would be like, "Hey, people that are brewing stuff, try this beer." But he was like, "You two right here, we like you. You also try these beers." So he was giving me beers. I was drinking all the Monster cereal beers, and I wasn't looking at the percentage. And by the time I got to fucking Yummy Mummy's dirty bastard ass, it all hit me at once. I hadn't eaten it all yet either. And I looked, and Matt's taking his time, but I'm not because I drink all the time. And then I look at the wall and I look at the percentage of Yummy Mummy, and it was like twice the percentage of all the other ones. And I'm like, I need to get up for a second. And I went, first I went to the Pac-Man machine and I drunkenly played Pac-Man for a little while. And I was like, I don't feel so great. So I went to the bathroom and I was just chilling there. I was like, I might vomit. I don't know. And I'm sitting in there contemplating my life choices. And I hear somebody knock on the stall and they're like, Paranormal, you in there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And then I've got like a severe case of like Neanderthal brain, or like I attribute it back to Goku. If anybody watches anime, like back in the day, Goku's thing used to be he didn't like being cold, you know? Nice. So, and my brain was like, Logan, if you get outside to the sunlight, it'll be all fine. So I get out to the parking lot and there's like the little curb and there's grass behind it, and I just flop back with my feet still on the pavement and I'm laying in the grass. And I'm just staring up at the sky. It's all blue. And then everything goes black. And the next time I come to, it's dark outside. And Matt's like, hey, you good? And he's like, do you want it? Matt, he came out there to ask me if I wanted him to buy me a 4-pack of anything. And I was like, and I wanted stuff to go, but I was so drunk and like feeling miserable. I was like, fuck, no.
Yeah. So for me that day, he goes off and like he goes to the bathroom. It's like, okay, he's gonna purge or something and be okay.
Purge. That sounds.
And then he just disappears. And the bar staff is like, hey, where's your buddy? Did he? And I was like, I don't know. He might have just walked off and is now wandering Houston on his own. He's like, we're just worried about him. You know, we don't want him to like get hurt or something while he's been at our establishment. It's like, I'm sure he's fine. He does this. And eventually, like we were like, they just kept asking me, like, "Where's your buddy? Where's your buddy?" Like, I don't know. Let me go look for him.
And like, why are you not concerned about your buddy? Like,
walk outside. He's sprawled out in the grass.
That whole trip back from Houston, I laid with my head out the fucking window of the truck. And this circles back to the fucking pizza thing, because when we're going back, and Matt's like, "What do you want to eat?" And the first thing I say, because I know where Matt lives, I'm like, I would fuck up a beef and cheddar. And he was like, I was thinking Taco Bell. And I was like, fine, fuck it, I can do Taco Bell too. And I see on the sign, Taco Pizza's back. And I'm like, I want that. It didn't taste the same. And it also tasted like we got the end of the night meat that was horrible. And I was already drunk. And I took like 4 bites out of that. And I was like, well, if I wasn't going to vomit before, I am absolutely going to now.
Should have got the beef and cheddar.
Yeah, you absolutely should have. There is nothing that is friendlier to a drunk than a fucking beef and cheddar. And I got an Aldi's fucking Taco Bell pizza, man. It was horrible.
So now I'm curious, Colton, was yours going to be the Mexican pizza?
It was going to be the Mexican pizza, but then I was going to piggyback off of another one. That it's kind of seasonal, kind of not seasonal, and that's the McRib. Yep.
Right.
Go ahead.
Listen, no, people can scrunch up their face,
That's
okay?
fine.
But the
That's
first time
fine.
I ate a
That's
McRib
fine.
when I was a kid, it was one of the first things I was allowed to order that wasn't on a fucking kids menu. It was my grandpa let me have it, and I was like, look at it. It looks like real ribs. And it was fucking pressed meat. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I got a large fries. My Coke is as big as my fucking arm. This is awesome. I've worked at McDonald's. You can't pay me to go eat there now.
In general, I don't like the McRib. Also, I worked at McDonald's with Logan, and that is also a traumatic part in my life, dealing with the type of human beings that order the McRib.
When I quit McDonald's, I went out the fucking drive-through window and got in a car and left. They were holding my paycheck hostage. They're like, you need to come in and work if you want your paycheck. I was like, all right. They hand me my paycheck. I called a person. I was like, order something and pull up to the drive-thru. They got their food, and I just crawled out the window and went with them and never went back.
Logan thought he was a prisoner at the McDonald's.
Yeah, man. Hey, you gotta make a grand escape, man. They gotta remember you. They could be like, do you remember that one kid that went out the drive-thru window when he quit? That's what you had.
Yeah, nobody.
What about you, Ashley?
Your paycheck.
That's because I was a teenager and stupid and believed what they said. So they were like, we'll just tell him we're not going to give him his paycheck.
They also did a lot of illegal stuff at that McDonald's. Like there was a manager who was 17 and she was stealing money from the tills. There was another manager that was arrested on site one time. Like there's a lot of shady shit that happened at that store.
Fair. What about you, Ashley? What you got? You got a discontinued food or something?
So mine, there's so many, but you were drinking Mondos like a few years ago, right? And kids drink those little squeeze juices. But do you remember the ones that were around in the 90s?
Did they have faces on them?
The squeeze it ones?
Yeah, did they have faces on the bottle?
I don't
Because
know.
those ones were literally called Squeeze It, and at one point they
Yeah,
had
yeah.
one
They were
point they
called-
had Squeeze Its that you would drop a pill in, basically,
Yes!
Yes.
and change the colors. So yeah, they were
So
basically teaching kids how to
so
roofie
good.
each other back in the day.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Yeah, you got a weird little white package with it. You tore open. It had a pill in it, and you jammed it in the Squeeze It bottle. It dropped down into it and changed the color.
I remember those. Hey, do they still have Listerine strips?
Yes.
Do you
I
remember those little beads that they had?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
little Listerine beads?
They came in the like rounded.
Yeah, it looked like
Yeah.
like the eye drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, we're missing a lot of really good products, like advertising products from the 90s that are gone, because I got busted by our neighbor Gordon as a kid because he was a divorced dad. So he had all the good snacks in his house. But he only had his kids like
Isn't that
once a
love?
week. And listen, my house back in the day, my house didn't have name brand shit at all. Legitimately, we shopped at Aldi's. We got the we had all these like Doritos that looked nothing like Doritos, and all the flavoring fell off the chips into the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, all the
Right?
Doritos.
So I'm like,
bullshit.
he had these fucking popsicles that were Lion King popsicles that had gummy bugs inside them. Because, Timon and Pumbaa. And I was like, man, I really want one of those popsicles. I was like, but it's an off week. Nick and Sophie are at their dad's house, so I can't get that. I was like, but Gordon always leaves his door open. As a fucking third grader, I walked into Homeboy's house
Oh
and
my-
grabbed a box of fucking popsicles and walked the fuck out.
Logan, you're a menace.
That's 3
Girl,
times
son of a bitch.
stolen something. Just
I'm gonna get. That's probably why my parents don't like me.
I swear, every time he comes and tells a personal story, he admits to a crime. We didn't.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, no.
We didn't.
I'll send Gordon. If Gordon wants, I'll send him a money order for this, like the $5 a box of popsicles cost back then. They were Disney brand. They were probably expensive.
We didn't
Yeah.
have snacks.
That
in my house
dude,
growing
I
up.
found out years later. This dude was like, any of you guys ever watch Home Improvement back in the day with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember
yeah.
the neighbor that would sit at the fence? Wilson, I think was his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this guy was like Wilson meets Ned Flanders. Like, he would literally be like, howdy, neighbor. And he would come to the fence and talk to my dad, but we had a chain link fence so we could see his whole ass. He was a painter. He had a mustache. And he was about as humble as, like, he was like the American picture of a neighbor,
Mhm.
Other than, he was a divorced dad in the 90s. And things I
much
never
it.
caught on to as a kid is Homeboy was always happy, which as an adult, I'm like, that's suspect. Why are you always happy? But as a kid, I was like, oh, cool. He had cool stuff. Like, he had Nintendo 64. And we listened to, like I said, I was like, when I met Nick, I was in like 2nd grade. And he would let us listen to the Offspring CD all the time. And that CD had a pamphlet in it that was full of like fucked art. And I always thought it was Nick's CD. Turned out it was Gordon's CD. Years later, I found out why Gordon was always happy. My uncle Jeremy was talking to me, and we had this guy that would come live in our backyard named Dino. He was a tattoo artist. Our parents met him. They became part of the family. And when we left, they started going to Gunner's house. Dino apparently was like, I need to get some weed. Can you drive me somewhere? I have a hookup. Dino had my uncle Jeremy drive him to my old next door neighbor's house, Gordon, because Gordon was his fucking hookup. And he tells me this as an adult, and I was like, that's why he was always happy. Gordon
I had all
was
the good
smoking
snacks.
the rope all the time. It's
I
like,
had
and that's
all the good snacks.
yeah,
Nothing to-
exactly. And this circles back this guy taught me a life hack as a kid that blew my mind. He was like, yeah, these Lunchable pizzas. And I was like, yeah. He was like, microwave them. It's like the cheese melts and it's like a real pizza. And as a kid, I was like, what the? Can we fucking do that? It just fucking changed my life forever. And then he taught me how to fucking take pepperonis and cheese, put them on a Ritz cracker, throw that shit in the microwave. I did that one day in front of my dad, and he was like, what kind of wizard shit are you doing? And now it all makes sense. Gordon knew how to snack because he was always high as shit. Painting fucking buildings and just smoking dope. It all tracks. But Nick and Soph's mom owned, she owned the regular movie theater in Warsaw, and her mom owned the drive-thru. So when like Pokemon the movie came out, we got to go watch it a week early with Nick and Soph in an empty theater, and she let me take a handful of cards.
That's dope.
It was dope. Yeah, but Nick was you know what? He might listen to the podcast. You're a nice guy, Nick.
What happened to burning bridges?
That's fair. That's fair. Nick was a prick. I didn't like it. I hung out with him for his snacks, and his mom owned a movie theater, and he had a Nintendo 64. So it is what it is, dude. It is what
Suck
it is.
it.
Yeah. But Alicia, snack. That was a big segue.
I have two.
Okay, let's hear them.
One, the first one, I'm like, was this a fever dream that never really happened? But when I first got my driver's license, we used to go to Plymouth all the time and go to the skate park. And my snack every single time was a cheesy double beef burrito. And they never bring it back. They never talk about
Fritos.
it. No.
Oh.
No. It was just a big ass burrito about this big, and it was $1. And it was so good. And I'm like, why haven't they brought this back? Is this not a real thing?
It was probably a real thing. It's Taco Bell's had so many different
I
burritos.
remember
It
that
probably was.
Yeah.
I used to get the half-pound cheesy potato burrito, and then somebody tried to sue them because they're like, it's not a half-pound, so they just took it off the fucking menu.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Rename it.
yeah. They're not
Yeah.
going to do something that ups product cost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your second one?
My
So, yeah,
second one is kind of a weird one. Does anybody normally eat at Wendy's?
Not
Mint.
normally, but I
I
like
do.
Wendy's spicy
I
chicken
do.
nuggets.
Wendy's is only good if you're stoned as shit.
I
No,
love Wendy's.
Wendy's has a ghost pepper ranch dipping sauce that is awesome.
Funny you talk about the dipping sauce. I'm going to talk about the dipping sauce.
Nice.
They changed their barbecue sauce. They had like the round. They were the
Yeah.
only place that had round dipping sauce containers for the barbecue. And then randomly they switched to a square one. And I remember getting my nugs, digging in, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This does not taste right. The barbecue sauce is disgusting now. And I don't know what they did. And there's a huge controversy about it on Reddit. And I was like, okay, I'm not nuts. But
She
they
started
changed their
the
barbecue.
controversy.
I did not. But they changed their barbecue sauce, and they had the best barbecue sauce for nugs. And now it's disgusting. Vomit. It tastes like vomit.
Well, it's like when Burger King changed from tenders to chicken nuggets, and their chicken nuggets were absolute trash.
Mm-hmm.
But like when we were kids, Burger King had stuff like, remember they had those French fries that you would dump the cheese powder on and
Yes.
shake it up? I just did this for shake it up. But on the right side, it's not a visual podcast, so we're good. I did not
Remember
just
Rugrats
air jerk
one?
anything. But
The
yeah.
Rugrats
Like,
chicken
listen,
nuggets.
Burger King fucking, first of all, we come from an age, all you young listeners, where Taco Bell had a fucking kids menu. All right.
Yep.
And they murdered it. Like they had I have some of the like the merchandise I have in my room is I have kids meal boxes from Taco Bell back in the day. Because they did Goosebumps, and that box is hollow foil and it's gorgeous. They did Godzilla. It was dope. Taco
Star
Bell
Wars.
used to have mascots that were like these weird like cat and dog that were like drawn.
Yeah.
And it was dope. And Burger King killed it too, because Burger King had like Rugrats watches you could get. They had Pokemon toys that were hella cool. They had the BK Kids Club, which was they had the kid in the wheelchair and the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
with the glasses. I think his name was Kid Viz or something like that.
Yep.
Teeny Beanie Babies made me hate McDonald's because my mom dragged me there all the time. Gunner's mom was part of that. It was a
All
team
our
effort.
moms
No,
liked
not
Beanie
Bobby.
Babies.
It was horrible, man. Well, they would hit up Jeremy because Jeremy worked at the hospital. And what does a hospital have? A gift shop. You know what gift shops got? Hot new Beanie Babies.
Hot new Beanie Babies.
Yeah. So I was going to the hospital with my mom to go to a fucking gift shop to get Beanie Babies.
Do you remember Puffkins?
Yes.
My
Oh,
grandma
God.
liked the Puffkins. That's weird.
And then my mom tried to force Furbies on us. Like, they heard the news talking about how Furbies were the hot new things. My parents disappear, and then they come back home with Furbies. And the Furbies weren't even for us. The Furbies were a fucking investment. They're like, they put it on a shelf in my mom's fucking office. And like, these are going to be worth something today. These toys learn how to talk. And I was like, that thing looks like a ferret and a toaster had a baby. It was awful. And it had the little demo window where they're like, look, you put your finger in there to test it. And you put your finger in thing's mouth and it says yum. All right? It wants to eat people. What about that is appealing? It's to this day, it is burnt into my head, the noise of it going, yum.
Yum.
It's horrible. Only cool Furby is the one they did for Gremlins, where they did a limited edition Gizmo Furby that you could get by ordering it with a tab that came in the back of a VHS tape. That was it. Furbies are the devil.
Nice.
And then people made those elongated Furbies they sell on Etsy and shit. That's the devil. That's what Satan looks like. If he's real, he looks like a stretched out Furby.
There's a guy who made a
100%.
Furby organ.
Ain't about it.
Yeah, it's pretty horrendous. It's great.
What
I'm gonna
I
YouTube
miss,
that. I want to see that.
what I miss, and this is something that nobody in the world probably misses but me, is Hooters potato soup.
What?
You're absolutely right.
Oh my God. It was way better than anything Hooters should have been illegally allowed to put out. And they took it away from me because I was one of the apparently 3 people, one of them being Colton, that would order it. Because we used to, Wing Wednesdays was a thing. We found out about it. First of all, I always wanted to eat a Hooters since I was a kid because of Big Daddy. Best Adam Sandler movie next to Little Nicky. Which Little Nicky made me fiend for Popeye's chicken as a kid because we didn't have one in Warsaw area when I was a kid.
Chicken.
Yeah.
So I look into Hooters as a we're living together at this point. So I'm freshly out of school. He's still in it, and I find out that on Wednesdays Hooters gives you a big old thing of curly fries and like 10 boneless wings for it was like $5.99.
I thought
I was
it was
like, guys,
all you could
I was
eat
like,
wings.
They changed that later on. They added that, and you pay extra $3, you get all you can eat. But the trick was you have to clean your plate because they bring you out not more wings than French fries. So it was like $5.99, 10 wings and a side of curly fries. And I was like, guys, we would be doing ourselves a disservice by not going. So we started going every fucking Wednesday, and everybody's looking like I'm gonna get fried pickles. I'm saving so much money. I can get an appetizer by doing this. And I'm looking at the menu. And I was like, these fuckers have potato soup. I love potato soup. I ordered it. Some of the best potato soup I've ever had at a fucking restaurant. And I would get it every time. I'd be like, and they would always look at me. The waitress would be like, did you say potato soup? Do we have potato soup? I was like, right here.
It says it on the menu.
That's right here. It was a gamble, too, because it was one of those menu items they didn't have a picture of, so you didn't know what it was going to come out looking like. And you're like, it says potato soup.
At the time, that was probably his inspiration. At the time, one of the best dishes that Logan had ever made was potato soup.
We called it potassum soup because we were poor as shit. We were a bunch of some high schoolers still, some right out of high schools. We were poor as fuck. And we what we did is I winged it one night. I was like, I'll make us some food. And we had those little tiny sausages, like the little ones, the little Franks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had 2 bags of sour cream and onion, the fucking, why am I forget what they're called? The potatoes that El Gratin potatoes, like the thin sliced ones that you cook in like a baking dish, but they're dehydrated. So they're basically really hard potato chips. We had that. We had some heavy cream and a bunch of bullshit. And I crushed those up, threw them in there, threw the fucking Franks in there, cut up, and made a thing of potato soup that was this big that we ate for the whole week. Because that was the kind of life we were living.
Sounds really good,
Yeah.
actually, though.
I mean, to this day, one of my people that I cook the most is potato soup, and to this day, I still throw sour cream and onion, fucking those potatoes up in my potato soup every time.
Now,
It's
also,
one of my mom's favorites.
now also at
I
this
fucking love
time,
potato soup.
this asshole fed us 4-year-old etouffee.
It was in the back of Caleb's grandma's freezer, and yet again, we're poor and starving. And I'm like, Caleb, how old is this? And it's got seafood and stuff in it. It's frozen. And she's an old Southern chick, so she just freezes everything. And they have deep freezes. I was like, how old is this? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, it's frozen. We're fine. We were, in fact, not fine. But yeah, that potato soup, to this day, I mourn it.
I used to get broccoli cheese soup from McDonald's.
Oh no.
That's worse. That's worse.
No.
That's really weird.
I don't know why.
I don't like broccoli. I don't. I never have. And I don't trust McDonald's to make a soup.
Yeah, it was probably pretty sketchy.
Well-
I remember one year because they only had it in the winter. It's like seasonal, and but every time I got sick, my grandma would go to McDonald's and get me some of that soup, and I wrote them a letter, and I was
Aw.
like, "Listen, I love your soup. It's the only thing that makes me feel better when I'm sick." And they served soup for an entire summer because I wrote them a letter.
Aw, I thought you were gonna ask for the recipe and they were gonna write her back like we throw broccoli in a pot and then 80 American singles.
Well, yeah.
That's
can't
the
even-
soup. You're just eating melted cheese and broccoli. Like, oh, okay.
No, yeah, it was very wholesome. It was really sweet.
Oh, that
I
is
think
sweet.
it was 8.
Do your guys' Dairy Queen serve chicken and dumplings during the cold season there, or is that just Texas?
No.
That's just Texas, apparently. Okay, all right.
Yeah, well,
Definitely
fair.
not.
that is
Yeah.
very much a southern dish. I imagine they don't even do they do biscuits and gravy?
Oh, they do chicken and dumplings up north,
do they?
just not Dairy Queen. Do you guys
There's
have
a
Yeah,
couple
it-
places
it's
that do
like-
biscuits and gravy.
Oh, biscuits and gravy is universal,
Yeah.
dog. You can't fuck
Chicken
around with
and
that.
You probably have to go to
Ugh.
like a Cracker Barrel.
Hardee's is the big one around here.
Hardee's here is Carl's Jr. and they all went away. I used to get a
Oh.
Diablo burger from Carl's Jr. all the time with the jalapeno poppers and shit. Another thing I fucking miss. But they discontinued the whole restaurant here, not just the menu item.
Oh,
They
let me
stripped-
talk about Hardee's red burrito.
The
Hardee's
fuck is
has
a red burrito?
So here, some of our Hardee's have a red burrito, which is like a upscaled Taco Bell.
First of all, that
And
sounds
it
like a
is
sex thing.
It is so good.
I've never heard of that.
It absolutely sounds like a sex thing.
Speedway down in Indianapolis still has one. So if you ever want to try it and you're down there,
Speedway
try
has
it.
its own Mountain Dew that I haven't got to try because there's no Speedways here.
Unrelated.
Definitely the wrong Speedway, but it's okay.
Oh, it's not the gas station. It's something else.
Speedway to the town, yeah.
Oh, there's a town called Speedway?
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
where
town
the
called
Indianapolis
Speedway.
Motor Speedway.
I was about to say, what in the NASCAR fuck kind of town
my
is that?
mother-in-law's
But yeah.
from.
Yeah, that's fair. Speedway. God, yeah.
All right, Logan. This is I'm dead. So I want to tell you my email that I have for you.
Give it to
for
me. Let's hear it.
52. Do you really believe that hitchers and drifters are listening to this podcast? Because every time you start a podcast, you say something about hitchers and drifters. What listening? What's up, all you hitchers and drifters out there? Like, what do you think? Do you think they can listen to your podcast?
Listen. The fan bases have to have names, and like when we pitch this show, it's a road trip. You know, it's all over the United States, and then sometimes like Vietnam and other places, it happens. When you see an interesting story, you go for it. But like my whole thing was like I said, a road trip. I always say it. I was like, your road trip around the United States for all things cryptid and creepy. And when I think of road trips, I think of people with their thumbs out that you really don't want to stop your fucking car for.
So that's what you're calling your
That's what I call my fans,
your
hitchers
guests.
and drifters. People I wouldn't stop my car for.
We already said Logan loves to berate his audience.
Oh, I absolutely
This
do.
is very true.
Like
true.
Jeremy's thing is he calls them all paranormal freaks.
He
that's
does say
his thing.
paranormal freaks.
Mine's hitchers and drifters.
We
you
always
know?
have
the
to edit
people
out-
you don't want to pick up, but you'll remember. You'll be like, oh, look at that person, and you just go a little bit faster and don't make eye contact. That's
Brandon-
our fan base.
Yeah, Brandon always had a name for the fan base, but we always had to cut that out.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
So then I'll say this. I want to thank you guys. You guys, I'm gonna miss you guys.
I'm not going anywhere. You'll still hear from me.
I know that.
fucking
I know that.
promise
But
you.
still, your guys' dynamic, I loved it. It was great. It made me want to listen to this kind of content because I don't ever listen to this kind of content ever in my life. But you guys made it fun. You guys made it worth doing for me to do. So yeah, I just really appreciate your time in doing this. I will miss you guys, and I really hope you guys are able to get some stuff figured out and come back and do this again. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for that time, and I want to end it on this note for myself because I am hella tired and need to get some sleep. Murdnerds, quick question. Gunner's here. I think you should just go and ask him why he bounced
left.
you guys
The
for
motherfucker
52.
dipped. He
So,
He ran.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do? I'm gonna do this. Hold on. What I'm going to do, respectfully, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to listen to this off air. So, you know what? Good luck, Gunner.
What's up?
That was-
Yeah, get it.
man.
Got some explaining to do.
In the honor of St. Patrick's Day, he gave them the old Irish goodbye. He fucking just phantomed.
He did.
Oh, high and dry.
Son
I'm
of
gonna
a
sit back. I'm
bitch.
just gonna.
All right, give
I
it to
made-
me. Bring it.
I made it onto the episode.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, take the stage.
What am I supposed to do?
Explain.
Apologize?
Yes.
Say why? Well, okay. So
What happened?
here's the thing with episode 52. Here's the other thing with episode Colton, if you're listening, had 14 letters he needed to put in. I'm just kidding. No, so yeah, we just mishapped, I guess.
Dropped.
I don't know how else to
Little
say it. Yeah,
I sent you a message before you guys recorded.
you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You gotta play it off like you never got it. Smart move.
But I tagged you in it.
I don't think I ever got it.
We all got
Oh.
it. We all have it because it's in the group.
I have
Oh.
notes upon notes from episode 52 on the people and the things that we were talking about. And I don't know if you guys saw the length of time that the
Yeah.
episode
He
was.
said he cut you for time. is
And
what
that's
he
not what it was.
saying.
But I would have made it over 5 hours. It was one of those things. We made the list, we went through everybody, and we're like, yeah, sounds good.
I think the Murdnerds should be able to host an episode of Call Guys now.
How about we
Like,
get the Murdnerds back on another episode? I'm
I'm
perfectly
so
fine
down.
with that. But yeah, that's my bad for
Or
Uh,
something.
I apologize. My
there
bad.
you go.
It's okay. This time. But
It's
next
not. I
time.
won't forgive him.
Yeah.
You did him dirty.
Logan, we'll get you back on. You can forgive me.
Meanwhile, I'm calling out Pete's Heart right here. Pete's Heart came out with his fucking with barely had his pants on. Didn't know he was unplanned. He wasn't ready for it. He looked like a deer in a headlight. He was the
On
shortest
52?
one too. Yeah,
It was. It was short.
he
was
looked like
short.
he had just like sat down and didn't know what was happening. Poor Pete's Heart.
Pretty much. Yeah, he wasn't prepared. He had known about it for like a week and a half. And
You know
wasn't
who would have been prepared? The Murdnerds.
prepared.
I am never prepared.
Guess
I was trying to sell you, Ashley.
Ashley would be. Can I say that on here?
That was so.
that is our running joke.
That was one of my favorite episodes to record. I had so much fun on that one.
It was a blast. It was a good episode.
Maddie's
Although I
the only-
completely screwed that.
Yeah, Maddie's the only one that's never been on a Call Guys episode.
It's true. I
All
wanted
right,
to
so
as
Logan
well.
and
I had
Matt.
so many hot takes to bring to the forefront. I was ready to argue.
It's not like you're gone forever where we can't get a hold of you. So
No,
now,
dude,
like,
we're not gonna-
like we could say, hey, you guys want to come on an episode? And we
Oh
just get you
no,
both on there.
we're gonna have we're going off the grid when we get to Canada. There's gonna be no internet in our Tim Hortons.
They're gonna be in it, yeah.
There's no internet in Tim Hortons. We're about the people experiment at our
Dude.
Tim Hortons.
Have
The
you
only
ever,
way to get business is free Wi-Fi.
have you ever seen
It's our demeanor that's gonna bring people
Yeah.
to the door.
Have you ever seen the movie or read the book Into the Wild? It's going to be like that, including
I
dying in
haven't.
an
You're gonna
RV
die on a bus for
Yeah,
eating
absolutely.
bad berries? Oh, spoiler alert.
in each other's arms.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. We're gonna be one of those skeletons they find like a decade later that it's like two dude skeletons spooning. They're like, what happened here?
And they're going to put on the press release like, and they looked like they were best friends.
In
It
quotes.
doesn't look like a volcano eruption.
Like that doesn't look like a best friend spoon. That looks a little bit more intimate.
Nuclear warfare? No, it's Canada.
There's just a bag of Tim Hortons next to them, and that's it.
Yes.
I found half a donut.
And a bottle of Astroglide.
One of my questions that I had left for you guys was if you had to make each member of Golden Mojo Entertainment a cryptid, which cryptid would we each be and why? So I want to hear the answers.
Okay.
Oof.
Brandon
I
was
got
the squonk.
Question.
Yeah. He's a squonk. We had a person at a fucking Ashley. She called him out at one of the live events and said, Brandon needs to cover the squonk because he's very squonkish. Which, if people don't know, the squonk basically cries until it dissolves into a puddle.
Yeah.
So that's He's absolutely the squonk. I'd say Chico would be a chupacabra. You know, like a mangy dog you find on the border of Mexico, and people are like, "What is that?"
Just like going crazy.
Chupacabra. That's
Yeah.
Chico. I would go with Colton Keel. Juan Keel for 3 is absolutely the tech because he would be in a tree throwing rocks at people just to get a reaction out of them. 110%. I think the Murdnerds, I would classify both of you. You're in Indiana. I would say you guys are Indiana mud mermaids.
I'm down.
No, mud mermaids. What would Jeremy be?
See, I kind of want to go with Sasquatch.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think Jeremy wants to be Sasquatch, but I want to go. I think Jeremy would be the generic like concept of a leprechaun. You know, homeboy's always chasing the rainbow. You know, he's always going for it. He's looking for that pot of gold. That's Jeremy. He's the leprechaun.
I looking for a pot of gold.
Trying to think what I would put the Skywalker as. I'm gonna go with deep pulls for Boozers. I would say Skylar's a puckwudgie. He's into all that like folklorist shit, you know. I could see him out in the forest, be like, "Why are you out here?" You know. I'll give him that.
A kind trickster.
I mean, and then Matt. I'm going with the smiling man for you, Matty. You're big, tall, and I'd be concerned if I saw you out the windshield of my car. That's where I'm putting you.
All right. So,
I'm not naming myself because I would just say Spectre Moose because the Spectre Moose is metal.
yeah, you just want to be the Spectre Moose.
I just want to be the Spectre Moose. No, I want to be the guy. I want to be the thing that chases random bikers up a tree because they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with that moose?" That's my answer. I don't know about Maddie. I'd like to see Maddie try.
Let's see. Oh man. I don't know that you really fit a description of any cryptid I've researched.
Talk about me?
Yeah.
I am a cryptid.
Maybe Mothman. You do
not
strike me as a
fancy enough to
harbinger
be
of
Mothman.
doom.
That's kind of rude, but whatever. What you got for everybody else?
Oh, we were doing this individual? I thought this was a collective.
Oh
thing.
yeah, no. You gotta cover everybody, dog. That's the question.
Man, I haven't
now you
got
gotta watch
to, like-
Matt really fucking
Yeah,
struggle.
because I haven't had the chance to like bullshit with people and build relationships with people outside of our podcast.
Is there a cryptid that nonstop talks? Because that would be me.
That's what I was saying. Like I can't think of.
I
anything
never
that
shut
is.
up.
It's like a chatterbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a possessed chattering pair of teeth that's like in an antique store in like a lockbox. That'd be me.
Logan's like that AI
That's
that got trapped into a TV
It's fair.
from the.
That's fair. Yeah, no, the SCP one, I fucking love that guy. The fucking robot, the AI that was just mean to everybody.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Like I said, I think Jeremy. I get a Sasquatch vibe for Jeremy. Let's see, Alicia.
Choose wisely, Matt.
Yeah, no shit, bro. We didn't cover a lot of like female-esque cryptids at all.
Yeah.
We did cover a lot of females being possessed and meeting untimely demises, though.
Fucking figures.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
And
Let me tell you what I learned doing this is that the amount of demons that killed people that I researched is basically none, but the amount of times the Catholic Church has killed somebody via getting a demon out of someone, they're really high.
Well, how many possessed women was just having a bad day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Big struggle.
yeah, I can't think of anything that wouldn't just be mean, and it wouldn't be like, it's not because it's like, it's not because of like, oh, let me just link this some. It's just there's no good comparison there. I feel like of the cryptids that we have researched and explored and that I know anything about.
She doesn't like dolls, so if you call her Annabelle, she might send you anthrax in the mail.
Logan, that reminds me.
You've got something coming in the mail.
Not opening it.
I just read a book by Grady Hendrix called How to Sell a Haunted House.
You say gravy?
Grady.
Okay, I was like, that's a name.
And when I started reading the book, I knew Grady was like a pretty big horror author, and I wanted to switch it up a little bit. And didn't know what the book itself was about, and then I started reading it, and it's about a fucking house with a gajillion dolls in it and puppets. Ooh. And all kinds of shit. And I went, Logan needs to read this book.
Oh, I love me a good haunted doll, man. We've been playing the Puppet Master game on PC, and I've loved Puppet Master since I was a kid. Love me a good haunted doll.
This book
absolutely
gave me the icks so bad. But I think you'd really enjoy it.
What I've really enjoyed is last week technically, this episode of Murdnerds, because I love a good animal story. There's something I wanted to point out to you guys about that case. You know, when you were like, she stopped bringing the monkey to town and everything? Mm-hmm. It was absolutely because this chick was a rich white woman, correct?
Yes.
Okay. She'd stopped taking that monkey to town because that monkey was absolutely jerking it nonstop at that point in his life. 110%. He had hit sexual and everything like the animal control person was concerned with. That monkey was cranking it out nonstop. And she was like, I can't have my monkey son jerking it in town in front of people. So she just kept him at home. And that's why he got sad.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing that rich white ladies hate more than weird sexual stuff in public. And I guarantee you, she was probably yelling at that monkey all the time to stop jerking it in that house. And he was so sad because she had him so accustomed to driving around in town and going seeing everybody. But he hits monkey puberty and starts cranking it all the time. She's like, you stay in your room. And that's why he rips people's faces off.
Seriously, you just solved the case.
Oh, I know. As soon as your guys like, he was this old. And I was like, and then they stopped taking him to town. I was like, he was jerking it. That monkey was jerking it.
He's like, that's when my mom stopped taking me to town.
Exactly. It's the same thing. They stopped taking me on car rides because I kept whipping it out. That's exactly what happened to the monkey.
Like that one time at Walmart.
Yeah, no. Jeremy will tell you the story. When I was a kid, listen, it's a thing. Their dads like to teach their sons, like, hey, you can just pee on a tree, right?
Yeah.
Well, my dad taught me that, so they took me to Walmart, the old one in Warsaw, before they redid it and everything. Mm-hmm. And like in my head, apparently, I was like, you're allowed to whip it out and pee wherever. So I whipped it out by the automatic doors and just started pissing on the wall at Walmart. That's not my fault.
Or on the outside.
Oh, on the outside. I'm not a heathen. You can pee on anything. You can pee on anything that's in the outdoors. That was what I was taught. They're like, you can pee outside. So I was like, this is outside. I'm about to walk in the threshold. I better get it out now.
One time I peed on a girl's car door handle.
I'm happy you said car door, because you said one time I peed on a girl and then you added the S and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, no, I peed on the handle of her car door because she kept making fun of me.
Yours sounds malicious. Mine wasn't malicious.
It wasn't malicious. I was pissed.
That's it.
Fucking
I'm impressed. That sounds like
Logan
a feat
did what?
for a woman.
That chick probably had it coming.
I said it sounds like a feat for a woman to pull off peeing on somebody's car door.
It was did you watch me? Mm-hmm. It was
somebody probably was helping her too. Somebody was probably holding her and like aiming her.
Yeah, there's some logistics that got to go into that.
I was the only person there, so.
So you were an accomplice. So we're talking about people admitting to crimes on the internet.
You're one to talk.
I've been doing that all night.
I am. I could keep going, but I'm not gonna. And I'm not gonna keep telling people about the crimes. I'll try not to. I've probably
He's already backpedaling.
I'll try my best. I mean, most of the best stories are stuff that were frowned upon or illegal.
Haha, everything I said was a joke.
Yeah. But I don't know if anybody else is dipping here soon. I know me and Matt are going to talk when everybody's gone. But I want to talk to the Murdnerds real quick before they go. Because, 100% honestly, not to get all emotional and mushy and everything, but I want to thank you for starting what you did because, I know Chico would know because Chico, it's his dad and everything, but, my whole life, I've known Golden Jazzy J, Jeremy, the Emperor, whatever you want to call him. The dude has always been creating since we were kids, and like it's his whole life. Like even when he was in high school, he was trying to make a band. Some of the best friendships he's made in his life were bands. Scotty T, Brad, all of them. And like I know for a long time, because I would still talk to him, everything. Like I said, when I moved there, when I went to go work in the studio, I had to dust stuff off. You know, he stopped. He quit. He wasn't doing it anymore. Like he'd occasionally like maybe go out to the garage and like jam for a little bit. I know my last night in the Golden House before I moved to the shady shit shack that I lived in Warsaw, I got hammered while they were playing instruments and stuff. But like he stopped. And I think that's like a big thing that's always like powered him and like made him happy is when he's creating. That's why he does so much, you know? And you guys started this, and I know when you started it, you were doing it at, I think, Ashley's house.
Yeah.
And you guys were doing it by yourself. And then I guess like you guys talked to
Very bad.
Skylar or something, and he was like, my dad has a workspace that you could do this. And when you guys did that with Jeremy, like it lit that spark, it lit that fire back under his ass, you know? It got him back to doing it. And he was recording, he was in the studio, he liked it. And so the next thing you know, he's making a show. And then he's doing that with Chico and the Skywalker. And then Chico does a show. And then that led into me talking, because I was talking to him about it. He told me when he started doing it, he's like, I'm back in the studio. I'm working with these Murdner girls. And I started listening to you guys. And then I was like, I just started talking to him, and then it led to tusop and everything. But without you guys, he would not be out there doing all the stuff that he loves now, because he's out there interviewing people. He's coming up with more plans. The motherfucker's on every show basically. He's on Golden Image. He's on Indiana Chiefs, which is on hiatus right now until the new season starts. He pops up on Call Guys all the time. He's on tusop. He's everywhere, and he's not done yet either too. There's more. He's gonna do more. Let's all be honest, he's gonna absolutely do more.
He just told us.
6 and
Yeah.
counting.
Yeah, and without you guys starting what you were doing, he would not be doing what he's doing. And I know it's making him happy. I know it's keeping him busy, but I know it absolutely makes him happy, and I'm glad to see he's back in the studio. And without you guys, that wouldn't happen, and we wouldn't be here. And that's why you're here in this last episode.
You mention it, and you say his happiness, and I'll tell you right now that I have not seen that man as happy as he has been since he's been doing all this stuff with everybody and doing all the podcasts, and whether he's been on Murdnerds, and he's been on, I mean, he helped you guys from, I don't know what, episode 10 and on, pretty much, and just doing, yeah, you don't wipe your eyes, because that's how I feel too, because he is so happy to be doing this all the time and having us all as a part of his family here, and it's been a blast to, you know, whether we have you guys on and talking to you guys and being on here. This is awesome, being able to talk. And I don't think I've ever seen Matt in person, so being here and seeing Matt is really cool. But I've enjoyed listening, and I know the Emperor's enjoyed working with everybody and just creating this family of podcasts. And every time I talk to him, I mean, that's 90% of our conversation anymore. And it just makes me happy to see him as happy as he is, especially with everything else he has going on. So it's like, this is his getaway from work and life, and he can just go sit in his studio, edit, record, do what he needs to do. And he's probably listening now. He's getting teary-eyed, so love you, Dad.
Love you, Jay.
Yeah.
Love you, Jay.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons like he's not here, is because there was no way I was gonna talk to about how much I love him in front of him and give him more ego than he already got. He can get it secondhand.
That shit barely fits through any door.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no. So that's one. This show started with Alicia, and there was no way I was gonna be kicking rocks out of here without having you on here. And two, like I said, without the Murdnerds, absolutely none of this would have happened, because that was the fire that got under his ass and got him creating again, which was him and me talking and led to me doing all this stuff with you guys. And one of the things I've always wanted to do, because I grew up with them, but like I said, I dipped before I was old enough to do anything with them. I missed out on the radio show and all that. I've always wanted to work with the Goldens, because I mean, like, that's a tight ass knit family, like 100%. Like, that's like the Brady Bunch. If the Brady Bunch talked about potty humor and cussed. You know, that's what the Goldens is. And I've always wanted to be a part of it. And I got to do it. And I've had a fucking blast. And like I said, there was no way I was doing the last episode without having the Murdnerds on here, and finally getting to do it with the call guys too. But I just want to let the Murdnerds know that without you guys, none of this would be happening. And like I said, it really has, like, you could see, like, I'm glad that Jeremy was creating again, because it's what he loves. He's always been passionate about creating content and doing stuff via bands, events like Slam Jam, just videos. He just is. It's where he's at. It's his element. So
we went from the little fold out white table in the studio to building a full size podcast desk, which is just so much nicer, and it just works out really well. It's really kind of ergonomic, being able to move around and talk.
Which is thanks to you.
That's right.
On so many levels.
Yeah, I think the CAD drawing is on the wall. You can actually see what I designed, and it's just seeing it grow from the Murdnerds doing it in Ashley's apartment, sitting on the floor, to 6 podcasts now that record, whether it's through Zoom, Discord, in person, however it works out. It's been awesome. And I'm gonna say exactly what Colton said, because I'll dip out too, but I fully expect that Team Tejas comes back, you know, whether it's 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, and does a year's worth of episodes and then dips again. That's fine. Do it like that. I'd love to see you guys come back, because your guys' potty humor and your stories and your relationship with each other, that's what I enjoy listening to on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday. And I love listening to Boozers, because that's just such a great relationship too. Murdnerds, love listening on Friday. It's like there's every day of the week has something that's fun to listen to. So I just want to see Team Tejas come back ready and fully prepared and just doing it again, because I don't know what I'm gonna do on Fridays, every other Friday now, because it's like
Wednesday, but you get the point.
Oh yeah, sorry, Wednesday, same thing. I'm thinking Murdered.
It's weird to think about, man, because like when we started it, it was just like, well, I just want to do this for fun. I like paranormal. I want to work with my uncle. Like, it'd be cool. And like then like the weird part was, you know, people started listening. And that's where it gets weird, you know, where you got people in a whole nother state you've never been to sending you a message.
Country.
and people buying T-shirts of your stuff that you've never met before. And it's just, and then getting to watch the numbers periodically and see like, hey, this episode that came out like half a year ago got 200 listens this week just because. Mm-hmm. Or somebody being like, hey, I wanted to look up something about this case and I found your guys' stuff. And like, just people telling us like they like our small talk. And it's just like, well, it feels validating, because, you know, you spend all this time talking with your friends and you guys always laugh and have fun together, but to find out that other people also enjoy it, you know, we make jokes about stuff like anal tuberculosis and stuff, and people write us about it and say they like
talk
it.
Talk about it for ever.
and it's fucking, it's just bonkers. And then you end up in front of like a live crowd doing it, and people are liking it. It's just weird. It's crazy to think about, because like it was never the goal. It was just like, I want to do it. It's gonna be fun. And it was a blast. But like I said, life just sometimes gets in the way. I mean, Alicia knows. I mean, she had a dip, and now it's our time to go. But you guys are still absolutely gonna hear from us. I mean, like I said, we love doing it, and we learned a lot from doing it. It is what it is, and
yeah, your guys' dynamic is just kiss. So funny. All the time. I think so. Yeah.
We try.
Agree.
I can definitely say, like, I'm not done creating. It'll be nice to take a break as I take care of other things, but those other things will hopefully lead to me being able to have more capacity to create going forward. So yeah, I mean, I've already talked with Logan, like, when we do get back to it, like, there's a when, not a if we get back to it. It's just a matter of how long it's going to be before we do. But
yeah,
there's the awkward silence right
there.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I will get out of here and let you guys close out the episode, but I just want to say I really appreciate everything you've done. Everything, like I said, the Emperor has been the happiest I've ever seen him in years, and it's been a blast listening to you guys. And like I said, I hope to see you guys come back and do some more stuff, whether it's paranormal or something different. It'd just be interesting to see you guys come back and get that dynamic back into the Empire. So
Anytime you want us on the call, guys, man, give me a call. I'll pop in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to come on and create a train wreck for everyone's episodes.
Yeah.
I have
feel that.
opinions.
Hey, I'd love to hear them. So let's do it. Let's plan on it here for year 2 because we got a lot of stuff coming up for the call guys. So
Absolutely.
yeah. All right. Well, you guys enjoy. Be good.
Catch you
stay
later,
healthy,
Chico.
all that good stuff. So all right.
Bye, Gunner.
Later.
Bye.
And there was 4.
I was literally just about to say that.
You gotta be quick, Alicia.
Well, now we have a 2v2, so it's a fair fight.
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Thank you. I know you've been a cheerleader for us since it started. I mean, I really appreciate that. And then when Jeremy came to me and said, I know you've been talking about doing a paranormal podcast, but my nephew Logan is also really wanting to do this. And we decided to do the, on and off weeks. And it worked out really well. And I can't thank the both of you enough for all the work that you guys did in that podcast. Because I'm going to be honest, I did not do a whole lot except show up and record and research. And that was it. And you guys handled so much. So thank you for all of the time and effort you put into it, because you guys got it to where it was, really. We're gonna miss you for sure. Eckled Mojo.
I'm still gonna talk to you guys all the time, so you're
Yeah,
not gonna get a chance to really fucking miss me.
I don't think you're gonna get booted from the chat. So
I didn't write you guys about the monkey jerking it because I was like, they're gonna talk to me and I'm gonna talk to them about it live. So
I know I miss Logan's breakdowns of every single episode of Murdnerds. So now that you'll have a little bit more free time, I hope every Friday afternoon we get.
I'll start emailing you. I'll send you official emails because, like, if you notice, like I've talked about it before, like every time I plug the Murdnerds, I'm one of the last ones that does long ass plugs for all the shows because I listen to every fucking show and I'm current.
Oh, yeah.
And I just like every time I talk about the Murdnerds, I bring up the animals thing because those stories haunt me. Like the snake eating the baby, and now I've got the monkey that was repressed because he couldn't jerk it in public, so he ate parts of people. It's just the animal, like people killing people is whatever, but like the animal ones just stick with me forever because it's always the domesticated animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
for sure.
That monkey episode was solid though. Holy shit.
Thanks,
Mhm.
man.
It was. I texted her the day before and I said I pre-screened your episode before I posted it, and it's a good one.
Thanks.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, I get it. I get where you guys are at. Like when I fell off tusop, it was like, I talked to you guys about it. It was the one thing I could think, because you've got your family, you've got your career, you've got all these other things that come into play, and you've got 24 hours in a day. Then how do you spread that out throughout what you've got? You can't get more time. So I get it. We're jumping to bi-weekly because we have a lot of shit going on right now.
I don't know how you guys do. Everybody does these. I don't know how Golden Jay does it at all because he's in everything.
I don't know what
Superhuman.
what he does, like how either. With
He
him.
must have like a surplus of Coke left over from the 80s that he's just fucking, he's going skiing before he's podcasting because I'm like, he's like 80 something and I'm barely almost 32 and I don't have it's sometimes we struggle to get energy to do one every other week, and he's just cranking them out weekly, and you guys are doing weekly. And then like I felt bad when we were like we're going because I was like that means he's gonna have to start doing 4 episodes a month instead of 2 for tusop. And I was like, hey man, I'm sorry. And he's just
And
like
he
he's
wants
ready
to.
for it. Yeah, no, he's ready for it. He's geared up. And I was just like, I don't know how you do it, dude. I hope I have that much energy when I'm 80.
For real. Because I even told him, I said, why don't you do bi-weekly, at least through the summer, just to ease into doing more a month. He's like, nope, we're doing weekly. I'm like, okay, I'm not I just don't want you to burn it yourself out, you know. You
Yeah, I
can't
get it from
burn
both
yourself
ends
out.
because, like, as a creator, I would be like, do it bi-weekly or find another team to cover the slack. But as like a podcast listener, the moment you change my schedule, I'm like, God damn it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's tricky. It's like from a producing standpoint, you're like, I want to do this, but should I do this? Because you got to kind of like, you know?
We
Yeah.
talked about that yesterday. Like, 14 days is a long time. It takes 2 weeks to create a habit or break a habit, or, you know, so 14 days between episodes is, you know,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
long time.
Well, and I'm a true believer in quality over quantity when it comes to things, and I feel like, at least for us, when it's coming
Yes.
to Murdnerds, being able to put out better content, being able to handle our social media better, because I've fallen off so much because I can't do it all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think,
Like, we wrote so many episodes this month.
yeah, we wrote
7.
7 episodes. No, well, I wrote 6.
Oh,
That's
I wrote
that's
7.
why I liked our format so much, is because one, it was divided between 2 teams. So we were all responsible just for getting 2 episodes out a month. And on top of that, it was oscillating team members, you know? So it was like I might have to research, but with my team, I had 3 people. When you were doing it, you only had 2. So like I did research, then it would go Matt, then Boze, and then after that I was like, fuck, getting right back to it. I was like, chiller filler. We'll do a string of us
Yeah.
and then chiller filler, which is no script at all. It's just bullshit. So even then we had even more time because that's just a wing it episode. But then
That'll
you
be
got
fun.
like your team, it was you and Jeremy, and you were constantly both going. And then with Murdnerds, it's the same. It's the 2 of you, and it's constantly going. We had a reprieve, and we still got burnt out. And like you said, quantity over quality. Like, I don't know about what Matt thinks, but like, or the reverse.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know what Matt thinks, but like I could feel like the last few episodes our team was kind of like, you know, the energy was different, you know. And like I did the Ghost Train one, a story I was really excited about, and I didn't feel, it was one of the ones I listened back to, and it was my own episode, and I just didn't feel like it was where I wanted it to be, you know. It was a story I was excited about, and I just felt like the delivery wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I
Yeah.
feel like that was a big part of me being like, it's probably time to step
Take a break.
away from a little while, because I don't want it to become something I wouldn't listen to myself
Yeah.
on our end, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and like I said, you built this, you know, you're right there alongside both of you guys. And it'd really suck if you guys were gone for good, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think you guys will be back and
I'm with
causing more
Maddie.
controversy.
Matt said it himself. He's like, he's just sad that like we never got to go do any actual like paranormal investigating, going to like a haunted house as a team and record there or something.
Yeah.
And it
for
would be
sure.
something cool to go back and do, which I know Jay's talked about going out to the asylum out and
Oh,
everything.
that
And like if they ever do that and we don't get a call, I'm gonna be burning down a house. 'Cause I'll make a trip to go to
Logan
one
will
of those
be a
places
murderer.
together.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I will, exactly. The ex-podcaster turned to arsonist. That will be my episode. But it's like I said, it's been a blast. It's just sometimes you got to know when to go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we should probably get going.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, feed Ashley, man. She's hungry.
Her
Feed Ashley.
stomach's been making the gnarliest noises.
Seriously.
But
It
thank
was
you
cool
guys
to finally
so-
sit down with you, Ashley. I've talked to you via the chat a bunch, but it's cool to sit down and actually talk to you and see your face and everything.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this is
same.
I think this is the first time I've ever spoken to Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I wasn't allowed in the
How
group
weird to
chat.
think.
It is weird. It is weird.
You familiarize yourself when you listen to the podcast. It's like, oh,
Right.
yeah, I know all these
Yeah.
people, but you really don't.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It is weird.
All right, boys. Thanks
Well,
for your time.
Girls,
Thanks
have
for
a good
having-
night.
You too. We'll see you later.
Night.
All right,
Bye.
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 And then there was 2, Maddie.
So this is the makeout session part.
Well, it's not a visual podcast, so it'd just be a lot of mouth noises, and people don't like that. Oh, man. Well, fans, it's just me and Maddie, which a lot of fans don't know that the original concept for the show, when we sat down and pitched it, was I pitched it to Matt. I was like, hey, Matt, I want to do this, and I want to do it with you. And it was going to be, original, it was going to be me and Maddie. And then Matt suggested we add a third, and we did. And it was great. Like I said, it was a fantastic time. We had a blast, just like everything in a grown-up's life or adult's life or anybody's life. Things just sometimes don't fold together the way it is. And we absolutely enjoyed interacting with all you listeners out there, all you hitchers and drifters, and doing live shows and making cool characters like Haskins and Casper. And we actually haven't even talked about it right now. Episode 52 is out. It's our birthday. We've got a brand new merch design, which is it is the happy birthday one, and it is from Spooky Moose Pizza. We got an animatronic of Spectre Moose in the Five Nights at Freddy's style at a pizzeria with a birthday cake for tusop. Go check it out. It's a great shirt. Mine is actually going to be here Monday. And we've got a few new products in the website, the UnitedStatesParanormal.com. Go check them out. Buy a birthday shirt. It is dope as hell. We also have pint glasses now on the actual tusop website. Our company started actually carrying them, so we have the Spectre Moose, the birthday pint glasses. So absolutely go check them out. It's a dope design. It'll be in the pictures on socials and everything.
Yeah, I really dig it. Honestly, I feel like it might be, in my opinion, our best design.
I really like it. I really do. I'm excited to get my shirt. I need to order me one of the glasses though. Drink out of it all the time.
Absolutely.
So, Maddie.
Yeah, buddy.
You got a specific moment in the tusop history that you'd say your favorite?
Oh man. I mean, not necessarily a moment, but just that how great it felt to actually make something, to actually like have an idea and then to bring it to fruition and then put the effort that we put into it to make something interesting and fun, and to have all the people that have messaged us and let us know, and all the people in my personal life that had just said, hey, I started listening to the podcast and we love it. And I teach at a school, and so many of my students started listening to the podcast, and it was just that knowing that something you did is something people actually want to watch and or listen to and take in and be a part of. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. But if I had to put a specific moment, our first live show was really cool because it's suddenly that validation that we had, but the people who enjoy it are actually there with us and partaking in it with us. And
that's honestly what I would go with too. Is the first live show, like the worrying beforehand, and then by the end just staring out at a crowd of people that are smiling and having a good time, and just like people just walking up to us afterwards telling us about how much they liked it and everything.
Yeah,
I think that's when it really sank in. Also just like the first time where we got set down and showed numbers and saw that people were actually listening, and like a good amount of people. And it was just like, it was just it was kind of an out of body experience. You know, it's just like, I'm from this little rinky dink town in Southeast Texas. We just did it for fun. I don't know about you, but when we started, I didn't expect nothing out of it. I really didn't. I just wanted to have fun, and I wanted to make something.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, part of the fun is it's always great to just do stuff, to hang out with friends and to do stuff with friends, which is harder to do when you get older. So to have an excuse to get together and hang out and bullshit for 3 to 4 hours every week was really nice. But then also to actually grow something and to prove to yourself that, like, hey, something I put out is worth consuming. Like, you have it in you to make something that people want to watch, I think is absolutely just a unbelievably fantastic experience.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And we're here. I just want to thank all these people that helped us along the way, because we've had people that have showed up. We have people that have written in. I want to thank Alicia again, Jeremy, Jennifer. I'm sorry we never got to do an episode with you. She was one of the cool gets in the beginning where we Golden Jay sent me a link. He was like, "Hey, you need to watch this video on Discovery Plus." And I was like, "Oh, this is dope." I was like, "You think this lady still lives in Indiana? Maybe you can interview her." And he's like, "She's my boss." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "That's Mel as fuck." Tell her I said, "Fuck that ghost. He's a dick." And like, and I'm sorry we never got to do something formally with you, but I love that you're there, killing it with my uncle, Aunt Bobbi. I'm happy to have you on the team. The Call Guys, the Court of Books of Booze, Golden Image podcast, all of them. Like, it was a joy, like, getting to talk with all of them and just like meeting people that I would have never met without the project. People like Felipe that came in and did a 2-parter and told us the story, and it was cool to interact with somebody that was clearly moved by the paranormal.
Yeah, the interviews were fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Poor Brothers Brewery, even though they're gone, I appreciate them having us out there. People like Dick Cox, like, I'm sorry we didn't get to interview you, man. Your sauce is badass. I keep it in my fridge. I use your seasoning. It's the bomb. Ingenious Brewery for having us out there. That was a blast. Even though I got absolutely fucking monster smashed at that bitch. Holy shit. Just everybody. Our family, our loved ones. Kayla, Blair for supporting us while we're doing it. Brandon, without him, we wouldn't have had what we did. I like to thank him. Just, we had a solid support system, man. It's just sometimes, like I said, life gets away from you, and you gotta refocus. You gotta revitalize, and like, you definitely don't want to ride the horse until it can't walk no more. You know,
Yep.
If you feel like something's dipping quality wise and you can't do something about it, or you don't feel like your heart's there, sometimes you gotta walk away. You gotta revitalize. You know, and Tusop will absolutely still be there. Team Bouger is gonna be killing it weekly. Y'all keep listening. Listeners out there like Strawman, Lance, all of you guys out there. We appreciate all y'all reaching out to us and talking to us, man. It really, you listeners have no idea how much an email or a message just boost the show. Just to know somebody's out there and listening, and they want to, and they like it so much, or they have so much to say about something to where they take the time out of their day to message us or write us or review us, and it really helps, and it's really appreciated.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, feel free to follow us on social media. I have Twitter. Logan, I don't know if you have any kind of public presence. I say public presence, like if your Twitter is set to private or not.
I don't have a Twitter. I have a Facebook. If you can find me. If you message Golden Jay, if you send the page website, he will get it to me.
Yeah.
I also have Wild Force New Frontiers, my Power Ranger page, or Ranger Reach Out. I've got that on Instagram too.
Yeah.
But anytime you message Jay, he'll get to us. He has the bat signal. He can hit Tejas up anytime he needs.
Yeah. Look for at Matt Spooky on Twitter, and check out New Frontier on Instagram. And if and when we get a new project, that it will be at the very least on mine, I will absolutely be posting about it on there, so that hopefully if you guys want to catch more of us, you'll have that ability to find us.
Or if you just want to bullshit, like if you want to shoot me a message about a horror flick that you love, you can do it. Or something pops up in the news or something, like this is a case I wish you would have done but never got around to. Hit up Jeremy so he can hit me up. I'd love to hear about it, because this is a passion project of mine. I love the paranormal. I love horror movies. And I know, even though we're not doing the show anymore, like me and Matt are going to start trying to do a movie night so I can get some more classic horror movies in this man's system.
Oh yeah.
And everything.
There's so much.
Get
that I
back
need
to finishing
watch.
Friday the 13th. Maybe finally finish fucking Hill House. Watch some Puppet Master movies. If you have a PC, go check out the Puppet Master game. It's a blast. I'm enjoying playing it. You know,
Absolutely.
but it has been a dope project, and we would not be here the 1 year, 52 fucking episodes without anything. This is the longest project I've ever done, for sure. I mean, and it was consistent work. And if you liked any of the people that were on the show tonight, go check them out. You know, the Call Guys are great dudes. Clearly, you just listen to them; they're great.
we didn't
Murdnerds,
even get into an argument with them, and we always said we were going to be arguing with them.
Oh, dude, that's the tricky part with him, because like Colton has such hot takes. So when you're listening, you want to fight him, but then when you get with him, man, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
You can't help it. His opinions are trash. He's a lovely human. And Chico, man, Chico's just he's an angel. He's a sweet little boy. But fight Alicia, absolutely. You see her on the street, fight on sight. That's what I do.
Get her before she gets you.
Oh, absolutely. Man. But yeah, like I said, been a ride. I'm gonna do some plugs and then we'll I guess we'll skedaddle, you know. This has been the United States of Paranormal, your weekly trip through the United States of all things cryptid and creepy. I whiffed it, but I'm just gonna keep on rolling. This is Team Tejas, for the last time. But like I said, Tusop's going to keep going. Go check out Boozers. They'll be there weekly now. Golden Jay, Jennifer, or as I like to call her, Miss Piggy, and Bobbi, the rocker chick, will be covering all things cryptid and creepy across the United States every week. Then on Tuesdays, you got Golden Image Podcast, which is a father-son podcast where they review local breweries, events like Comic Cons, and sometimes even places like they did a Christmas town, they did a music store, and then on other weeks they do vintage Golden Image radio shows, but that's running out soon. So Jeremy's gonna start doing interviews with people that are creating out there. So it's one of those shows with switch up vibes every week, kind of like we do here. Wednesdays, like I said, you got Tusop. Thursdays, you go on over to. I blew right past the Call Guys. Mondays is Call Guys. You cannot forget the Call Guys. I look forward to listening to that podcast because it just fires me up for the week. It just gets me all riled up and yelling. You got Juan Kill for 3 and Chico Noise, where they cover top 3 list of TV shows, movies. They just hit their 1 year mark too with an almost 5-hour long podcast that I listened to the whole thing. They had everybody they ever interviewed on that show come in periodically, and it was dope. So go check them out. I'm still campaigning them for starting their new segment, Top List. I want that. I want that content right there. Playing on skin side, boys. Take them off. Thursdays, you have Thursdays. I'm spinning tires here. It was the Indiana Chiefs fan podcast, but they're on hiatus right now. But they will be back. They just won the Super Bowl, so they got that going for them. Fridays, we've got the Murdnerds, which was Justin here, Ashley and Alicia and Golden Jay. They cover true crime, unsolved mysteries, and a lot of animal stuff, as you heard in this podcast every now and then. The girls are killing it. Go check them out. And we also have Court of Books and Booze, which is Skylar. Fuck, I just said her name earlier. Jessica, and I'm trying my best. She's gonna hate me by the end of this. I keep forgetting her name. They have another host. I don't read books. Amanda. I think it is Amanda. Max got me right there. I listened to the first few episodes. I don't read books. But if I did, I would absolutely ingest it all. I've actually thought about picking up the audiobooks for the Throne of Glass to check it out so I can, because I listen to all the Golden Image podcasts. Honestly, 100% I do. Matt knows this. I talk about them all the time. But check him out. And you know the Emperor Golden Jay is going to be whipping out some more podcasts, so be on the lookout for all that stuff. But I mean, that's the plugs, man. Matt, you got anything you want to say, or any direction you want to point people, any content that you want to point people at? Anything you thoroughly enjoy?
You've covered it. Man, I'm not going to plug other podcasts, but
I've done it a few times in here.
Especially nothing related to what we kind of cover. I did start listening to a podcast called Intentionally Blank, and it's an author of a book series that I read, and he does some dumb stuff, like they just had an AI come up with a bunch of different titles for future Fast and the Furious films. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but I started listening to that because I'm kind of in between book series right now, and I'm having a hard time deciding what book series I want to read. So that was just kind of filler noise while I was mowing the lawn yesterday. Or not yesterday, last week. Man, no, like I said, I don't have really anything. I kind of just do a lot of work and then socialize with you guys, so there's not a lot for me to plug.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like, it's bittersweet going, but we know that we will absolutely still talk to each other every fucking day. So, you know, it's hard to be sad about that. It's just, like I said, it's bittersweet. It's never cool. It's never great having to leave a creative baby, but it is. And we hope all you fans out there absolutely understand. All right, then. For one last time, this has been Logan.
It's been Matt.
This has been Team Tejas, guys. We're gonna hit the road, but remember to keep it spooky. And if you ever cough and it didn't come out your mouth, get to a fucking hospital. Bye.
To support other Golden Mojo Entertainment productions, check out Golden Image Podcast, The Call Guys, and Murdnerds wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. To see photos and find new episodes of the United States of Paranormal, follow us on our social media. Twitter at TUSOPPOD, or Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and Facebook, the United States of Paranormal. If you have a place that you'd like us to look into, or would like to share your spooky story that we can read on the air, please email us at the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com.